Hello there, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Canada's Movie and TV Hosers. We really appreciate it. We're getting some more viewers here, so that's going really well. I'm one of your hosts, Gregory Barrett, and with me is my lovely wife, Christine.
Hi, everybody.
And this is a star of our show, Fluffy Kitty here.
She's going into sleepy land.
Yeah, she has to have her pre-dinner nap, I guess.
Yes.
Because she woke up from her afternoon nap.
Stretch there.
Okay. So, breaking down today's show, we're not really going to cover any news. Actually, no, one short piece of news. We're going to do our May 23 movie picks. You weren't here for the April ones.
No.
We're going to be doing the Netflix May preview, their trailer that we do. So we're going to do our Netflix picks for May. We're going to review new trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beast. And then the new trailer that came out for Dune Part 2. I know you're excited for both of those.
One of them.
Okay. I'm going to do a spoiler-free review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah.
It's new this weekend. Christine's going to review Fairy Tale by Stephen King, which just came out last year, so it's new Stephen King. We're both going to do a review for Polite Society, which we saw last weekend.
Right.
I'm doing a review on Big George Foreman, which I also saw last weekend. Doing a review on Barry Season 4, Episode 4, which is from last Sunday. We're going to do our another segment of Into the DCEU. This time we're talking about Wonder Woman. Then we're going to do our Nap Time at Hogwarts, where we're talking about Harry Potter 4, Quest for Peace.
The Goblet of Fire.
Then we'll see if we have time for anything else.
Okay.
So let's get right into it. Movie picks. Are you excited for movies coming out this month?
I want to see Guardians of the Galaxy that you just saw.
Yeah, that just came out.
What's the official title of it?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Oh, it's just one. See, they didn't try. Okay.
They're just like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Volume 3 now.
They
So,
didn't even try to give it a title.
well, it's consistency, right? So, anyway, there's a whole bunch of stuff coming out this month. So I picked out 7 titles for us to choose from.
Okay.
So we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is new this weekend.
Going to see that on Sunday.
Also new this weekend in wide release is Love Again.
Oh, yeah.
That's
With
the
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion. I don't think she's a big
The
character.
handsome guy from Outlander.
Next weekend we're getting Book Club, the next chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then we're getting Fast X the weekend
Oh,
after
I
that.
want to go see that.
And we're also getting Kandahar. This is another generic Gerard Butler movie. This time he's in
Afghanistan.
This time he's
You don't care for him that much.
okay.
I like Gerard Butler.
This time he's in India.
Oh.
Then we're getting a movie called About My Father. Oh, this is a Robert De Niro movie.
Oh.
Okay. And then at the end of the month we're getting The Little Mermaid.
Oh, I
Okay.
definitely want to see that.
That's 7 of them.
Okay.
Which of those 7 are you looking forward to seeing the most? Because you haven't seen any of these at this time.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I haven't heard about some of them. So, Guardians of the Galaxy and The Little Mermaid. So
It's getting positive reviews so far from audiences.
I want to see it. I'm gonna go see it.
Critics aren't raving about it, but
try my best to go see it. It's not like if I have time, I'll try my best to go see it. And I know we're gonna see Guardians on
so that's
Sunday.
the one you're looking forward to the most.
The Guardians.
Of this one, yeah, I agree. Mine is also Guardians Volume 3.
But I also want to see The Little Mermaid.
Okay, but if you have to pick one, if you can only see one,
Guardians.
it would Guardians 3. Same for me, exactly the same. Which of these 7 do you think will make the most money?
Guardians.
Guardians? You think Guardians will make more than Fast X?
Oh, I don't know about your Fast X movies. I don't know how much
This is
money they make. There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's number 10 plus
I
the
don't
spin-off.
know. Is it cheaper to make a Fast X movie? Probably. It's probably expensive to make the Guardians movie, so therefore the profit margin,
No,
the
they got a lot of
actors are
stars
expensive.
in there. They got a lot of stars in there. That costs a
Well,
lot.
That's what I mean. It's more expensive to make the Guardians, perhaps.
No, there's more stars in Fast X.
Yeah, but it's cheaper. They don't have to do it in space this time.
There is still a lot of special effects, but less.
They had to do the Guardians in space, so that
I don't
costs
know.
more.
I'm not going to bother to look that
There's
up.
no
So,
cars in space in the Fast
Book
X.
Club, the next chapter. Is Jane Fonda in everything now?
I guess there was a previous Book Club movie, though, wasn't there?
Yeah, and she's in it, and she's just in 80 for Brady, and she's in that show all the time.
Well, that show.
Grace and Frankie. What does she
Listen.
have any time?
She's busy.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Listen, she can do it.
Okay. So here's the ones I think will make the most. Okay, the top 3: Guardians Volume 3, Fast X, Little Mermaid. Which one do you think will make the most?
Well,
you still think it's Guardians?
The two that are going to stand out for a long time are the Guardians and the Little Mermaid. They're going to be movies that people won't forget.
Hey, and Fast X. People love that franchise.
But there's so many of them. I don't think that one's going to stick out. We only have 3 Guardians movies.
All of these picks for us are dependent on if these movies are good. If Fast X turns out to be garbage and people hate it more than they hated Fast 9, then it's not gonna make any money. It could be garbage, right?
Fast X is not for everybody.
No, but it does have a huge fan base.
I guess, but Guardians is for everybody.
The last one didn't make $1 billion, but I think 7 and 8 did. Both of them did.
Little Mermaid is also for everybody. I think what people are going to remember most is probably in the end The Little Mermaid because it's a movie about.
So do you think that'll make the most money?
I don't know. I don't make movies, so I don't do the budgets.
Okay. Of these, I'm going to say the unpopular answer. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is going to make a lot of money, although I have already seen it at this point. Fast X, if it's good, it's going to make a lot of money. And same thing with The Little Mermaid. All 3 are going to make a lot of money if they're good.
Well, I don't know how expensive The Little Mermaid... it depends on
that would be a lot.
Value.
That'd be a lot of money for all those underwater stuff.
The Little Mermaid and the Guardians were expensive to make.
I think all 3 are expensive to make. Anyway, I'm going to go with the unpopular answer. Even though it's not for me, I'm not really looking forward to it. I think that Little Mermaid is probably going to make the most.
Again,
if it's good.
How much money a movie makes is not a reflection on how good it is.
It does tell us a lot, though.
Not really.
No, it does tell us what audiences want to go see and what they go back to see.
I don't think so, though, because, a Fast X movie, okay, that's not a movie I want to see. Maybe it'll make a lot of money, but I definitely don't want to see that kind of movie. So.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, if it's good, it could make over $1 billion.
Okay.
All right, so that's our picks for May. We'll another day we'll look up our stuff for based on my picks for April and our stuff for March.
Oh, I definitely, now that winter is over, I'll be able to get out more. Although we still do have snow here in the yard.
Well, that's our thoughts that's our May movie picks. So we both picked Guardians. And I'll get into that. Let us know what you think. What are you most excited to see in May? Are you excited to go see Guardians, Love Again, Book Club The Next Chapter, Fast X, Kandahar, About My Father with Robert De Niro, The Little Mermaid? Hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
I don't know about
what are you excited for the most and why? Let us know down in the comments below, please.
Yeah.
Hello, thank you for joining us. I'm one of your hosts, Gregory Bear, and this is my lovely wife, Christine.
Hi.
And here's our star of the show, Fluffy Kitty. She seems to be quite relaxed today.
She was playing with a bug upstairs for a while, so she's...
Yeah, and she ate breakfast, so she's all tired out. She needs to nap now.
Spring is coming, the flies are coming out, and the bugs. She's excited about that.
Yep. So we're going to move into our Netflix preview. So every month Netflix comes out with a preview trailer. It's usually 6 or 7 minutes long with a bunch of things that are coming out that month. And we just watched that, so we got a whole bunch of things that are coming out. Now we talked about, first one I picked out was Fubar, which is an action comedy series starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's not an actual sequel, but it seems like it's the spiritual successor to True Lies from the early 90s.
I don't know. There is the True Lies show on television right now.
Is it any good?
I haven't watched it.
Okay. Well, this one actually looks pretty good. I'm excited for it. We talked about the trailer. So this is coming on May 25th. Are you looking forward to this one at all?
That looks fun. If I have a chance, I'll look at it.
I like the poster for it.
It interests me more than most of the ones that we saw for May. I'm going to be gardening a lot, right? So I don't know. If I have time, I'll check it out.
Hopefully it's not too long. I wonder what if it says how many. It says it's 8 episodes right now on Rotten Tomatoes. So they might change that to 10. I really like the poster where it's all the action. He's just drinking it's like world's best dad. And he thinks he still thinks his daughter is like 10 years old for some reason, though she's 28.
Seems that way. Well, and yeah, we weren't sure before if it was a movie or a series, so we're getting a series.
This
anyway,
confirmed it's a series.
I can check it out. It does look fun. Of all the ones we saw for May, there's that one and Bridgerton were the two ones that stuck out to me.
Okay. Well, this one, just before we move on, it appears that this is I wonder if this is because this I think is Schwarzenegger's first TV show, even though it's for Netflix, because Stallone did Tulsa King.
Everyone's doing a TV show these days.
Yeah, because it's not like cable TV any before. Now it's for streaming, so I mean they pay his quote, so if they're paying him and it's something he's interested in, why not do it?
They're making some fun TV these days.
Yeah, and if he has a good time and he's getting paid, why not do it?
Yeah.
And if it's successful, maybe he'll want to do more.
I mean, what's his name started with Westworld, and
what's his name?
Jeffrey
Wright?
No. Who was in Westworld?
Jeffrey Wright.
No.
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
There was a lot of people in Westworld.
Well, if Anthony Hopkins, that was really the first wow, they got Anthony Hopkins to do a TV show. That's kind of where it started with that, and now everyone's doing it.
Who else was in Westworld?
Well, he was the most famous person, and I mean, people became famous through Westworld. I would say became way more famous.
Evan Rachel Wood, Andy Newton, Ed Harris. That's what I was thinking of. Tessa Thompson.
Harris. But Ed Harris is not Anthony.
Luke
Hopkins.
Hemsworth. Aaron Paul was in that? I don't remember seeing Aaron Paul in it. Was he in a later season?
I don't remember Aaron Paul in it either. Who did he play? He was in a horse costume.
Caleb Nichols.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It made people way more famous.
Okay, we're off on a tangent here.
Yeah, but I mean that
Fubar, looking forward to it.
A lot of big stars on TV now.
Was it May 25th? Can't wait. What was the show you were looking for in this Netflix preview?
Well, I want to check out the Bridgerton new series, but not Bridgerton. It's a whole separate
Queen Charlotte
story of Bridgerton. Now, the only thing, spoiler for people haven't seen Bridgerton. The whole thing about Bridgerton is it's about the costumes.
It's all about sex.
About the family. The first season was. Second season wasn't as much. The first season was the best one.
It's all steamy.
But
soap opera sex stories.
The main story behind it is that there's somebody writing in the new, writing a flyer about all this stuff that's going on behind the scenes, and everyone
gossip paper.
That's what it's about. And the Queen wants to know who it is, and everybody wants to know who's writing it. Who's writing
But everyone's reading it, I'll bet.
Oh, yes. And
of course they are.
It's and they're all trying to figure out who it is, right? And we know who it is.
Did you watch that whole series?
Yeah, it's only been a couple of seasons, but I hear there's going to be maybe more. I don't know.
Well, that's why we're getting this Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story.
This is a separate thing, but it's not going to have that same underlying story of the secret gossip papers.
This is coming May 4th, so very soon, this coming week.
Maybe then after this we'll get some more
Here
of the
it
original
is.
Bridgerton.
Series info. A young queen's marriage to King George of England ushers in an epic love story and transforms high society. I'm guessing that's King George IV?
I don't know what King George
Or maybe it was King George
way
III?
Before. It's way back in the day, these things. It's I don't know.
Says it's going to be 6 episodes. Apparently people have already reviewed it. Critics say it's got 100%.
Oh, wow.
But it could be, 5 reviews. We don't know.
I mean, when
that'll change.
You got your new TV. That's the one thing I put on at first to see was Bridgerton. When you got your new big TV, we put Bridgerton on to see how beautiful.
Because Christine really wanted to watch Bridgerton.
No.
She's hardcore into that.
You're not getting it. It's just so beautiful, and it looked fabulous on the new TV. But that's the show that I chose to just see, the first 10 minutes of Bridgerton look so great on it because it's just a beautiful show.
Okay.
But the handsome guy's not in it anymore. But you can watch him in
the guy who went to Dungeons and Dragons movie there, which
yeah.
Great movie, fun movie. If you get a chance to go see Dungeons and Dragons, go check it out. So you're looking forward to Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, just coming out May 4th.
We'll see.
Hopefully that's good. Anything else you were looking forward to in there?
No, there's a couple. There's a crime one. I might check it out. I would like some crime podcasts. I'm not 100% into crime podcasts. I'm more like literature, like, you know, made up or
fiction,
sort of, with some, like, I like some reality put in, but I mostly like the fiction. Okay. But there is I might check it out. Missing.
My next show that I picked out from this preview is Mulligan, which is an animated, it says it's sci-fi, but I think it's comedy. Here's the series info. After Earth is destroyed by an alien attack, ragtag survivors have to start society over from scratch. Check out the teaser trailer for Mulligan on Netflix. Looks pretty funny to me. It looks like a bunch of idiots trying to rebuild society, and they're like,
let me know if it's any good, and I'll check it out.
Coming out on May 12th.
It looks fun.
Let's see who it's got. It's got Tina Fey. Dana Carvey is in it.
Oh my goodness, we haven't seen him in a while.
Well, he's been doing his podcast forever.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah, all celebrities in Hollywood do that now. So, yeah, Dana Carvey's in it. Phil Lamar, he's in everything that's animated.
A great voice.
Tina Fey. I mean, Phil Lamar's even in Star Wars animation. He's in all kinds of animation. Yeah. And he's in one of my favorite animated shows of all time, Futurama. Any fans of Futurama out there, leave a comment in below. I love that. Maybe we'll review that series sometime.
These aren't the people that created Futurama. Who are these people that created a previous animated show?
This is the cast.
This show, does it say?
Anyway, if it's
like Futurama, I'll certainly watch it.
Creators are Robert Carlock and Sam Means. You want me to look them up? You got it. Robert Carlock here. The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Let's see what this guy was involved in.
I haven't watched all of the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, but I've watched a bunch. It's funny.
He was a creator, executive producer on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, 30 Rock. He was a guest star.
That's a Tina Fey show. I never did get a chance
Great
to watch
News,
that.
Mr. Mayor, Girls 5 Eva.
Oh, Girls 5 Ever is great.
Is it?
Yeah, it's similar to the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I love Girls 5 Ever. I told you should watch it. I think it's out on Netflix now. I think we had a...
I think it's been on Netflix forever.
No, it was on TV. It's only been on Netflix recently. You should watch it. It's really funny.
Well, I'm hoping that Mulligan is really good. I'll check it out when it comes out on May 12th. If it's good, I'll keep watching it. If it's bad, I'll tap out after the first episode.
I don't think it's going to be bad if it's on those other shows.
I don't know. Sometimes they make these shows look really good, especially on Netflix, and then it's like, So I watched that first episode of Transatlantic. Not for me.
It's not a comedy.
Not for me.
Well,
no, it's not a comedy.
You should check out Girls 5 Ever, because it's funny.
Yeah, when I get time to watch all these millions of shows.
No, Girls 5 Ever is good. I really enjoyed it. I've watched 2 seasons.
Okay, and also Girls on HBO is supposed to be amazing too, with Adam Driver. Haven't had time to watch that either.
I'm telling you that Girls 5 Ever is good though, because I've watched it.
What kind of a show is it?
It's a show. It's a comedy. It's about a girl band from like the 90s that reunites now.
Okay. So it's Spice Girls kind of.
Yeah, but they're hilarious.
But it's a comedy.
They have like one hit and yeah.
Okay.
One of their, I'll tell you just like an insight, a little tiny spoiler.
Sure.
Like they had a member that's not with us anymore. She died because she fell off the edge of an infinity pool.
Okay. So I guess it is kind of ripping on Spice Girls, and who would that be? Ginger Spice?
It's ripping on all of that stuff.
You know,
and it's really funny.
Remember season 1 of The Boys when Butcher is always like, "Hey, what's Spice up to?"
Yeah, hey, yeah.
Fucking Spice. What's she doing these days?
You know how you loved...
And he gives this whole rant on the Spice Girls and how they're a complete mess, but when they're together, they're the goddamn Spice Girls. That was a hilarious scene. That's in the trailer for The Boys season 1. Go check that out. It's hilarious.
Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you'd recognize her from one of your favorite shows, She-Hulk.
Okay, yeah, that was a great show.
In She-Hulk. She is fantastic in Girls 5 Eva.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just fantastic in it. She's just so funny. Good. And yeah, anyway, you have to watch that.
Bringing back this, I'm gonna go watch Mulligan. If anyone else out there is excited to see Mulligan on Netflix, or if you've seen it by the time you watch this video, let us know down in the comments below what you think. We want to hear from you. Always appreciate getting more comments.
Thank you for the Timmies this morning.
Yep, because we're in Canada, we gotta drink Tim Hortons. Okay. Which, by the way, if you're in another part of the world, you want to check out Tim Hortons because they got the best coffee, tea, and the best donuts in the world, okay? Way better than, in my opinion, way better than Krispy Kreme, way better than Dunkin' Donuts, way better than anything Starbucks has got. You want to enjoy Tim Hortons.
I think their baked goods are superior.
Definitely.
When I used to drink coffee, I didn't think their coffee was fantastic, though. Now I can only drink tea now. But their baked goods are...
Moving on, the last thing I pulled out from this Netflix preview for May is there's a new Wanda Sykes comedy special.
Yeah, that looks funny.
And she talks, in the trailer, she talks about how her last one was...
2019?
2019, it was pre-pandemic. She's like, there's been a pandemic, an insurrection.
She called it...
She said, I should have called it the good old days.
Yeah, because she called it, like, not normal or something.
Yeah, not normal, but she should have called it the good old days because things just keep getting crazier.
I had no idea. Like, 2019 was the good old days. Like, everybody, we can hold on to 2019.
I'm looking forward to this. Now, Netflix has had a lot of success with their comedy specials. And the one that has gotten the most buzz in the last year has probably been Chris Rock's comedy special.
Oh, which yeah, you watched it.
Oh, man, that was good.
Yeah, did you do a review of that?
No, because, like, anything I would review would just be I would just be giving away the jokes, right? Yeah. Otherwise, all I could say is good. If you haven't seen Chris Rock's comedy special on Netflix, go check it out, because it's really good. Yeah, of course, he talks about the Will Smith stuff, but he talks about a lot of other things. And it's really funny.
I heard Will Smith wasn't too happy about it either.
No, apparently, I heard in the news, he's suing Netflix and Chris Rock. So as soon as I heard that in the news, I'm like, I gotta go finish watching it in case it gets taken down.
Hit him in front of the world. I mean, everybody saw it. It's not like you can deny that it happened.
Yeah. Hey, he made a big mistake, and he's still paying for it, so... Anyway, Chris Rock has some good jokes about it. I don't want to spoil it. And also, it's not something I can say as a white guy, but it's really funny when Chris Rock says it.
Yeah.
So, check that out. And I'm going to check out Wanda Sykes' comedy special. When is that coming out?
I don't recall. Sometime in May. It'll be here soon.
May 23rd. 2 days before we get FUBAR.
We only got a couple more days. We get May. I'm so glad that winter is ending. We still do have a lot of snow here, unfortunately, but we're starting to see parts of the yard, and perhaps some of the spring flowers will come up soon.
Are you a big fan of the Netflix comedy specials? Did you see the Chris Rock special? Are you gonna watch the Wanda Sykes special? Let us know down in the comments below if it's any good or if you didn't enjoy it or not. Let us know. We might read that out on a future episode.
I think Clara's fighting with her own tail. Sorry, Fluffy. Sorry, that's your stage name.
Yeah, stop calling her that.
She's
her name's
fighting
Fluffy
with her
Kitty.
Own tail.
Just brush her a little bit. She'll be happy.
She's so cute.
Okay. Moving on into trailers. Yeah. We're going to review Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer number 2.
I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. It looks so dumb, and the trailer, of course, verifies that it is. Did
this trailer make you more excited to go see it?
I'd like to see it if I get to just be at home and heckle it and make make fun of it, basically, because it looks so dumb.
Okay.
And they're trying to put it. It's now going to be in the year of 1994. What a nostalgic year that is. I mean.
Well, the last one was in the 80s with Bumblebee, Haley Steinfeld in it.
Yeah, but anyway, whoever has nostalgia for 1994...
maybe it's because that's when they came out with these new Beast Transformers and Beast Wars. Was it in 94?
The toys came out in 85, so...
Yeah, but when they did the Beast Wars stuff, it was in the 90s.
I don't know. I was in university. I wasn't playing with Transformers at that time.
I don't know. I've never really been into Transformers that much, so... Did this make me more excited to go see it? No. It actually made me think it looked kind of more ridiculous. And
it does look so
wacky.
Dumb. And the eagle is speaking. It's an eagle.
Well, it's one of those beast transformers. What are they called? If someone knows, let us know, because I have no idea.
Calling them beasts. I don't know. It looks so dumb.
I'm not looking forward to it, but
no.
You know, if this is your thing, I'm gonna go see it and report back. And if it's really, if I find it's really bad, I'm just gonna be sitting in the theater laughing. I'll be like, "What is this nonsense?"
They should have gone like smart and gone funny and gone like with rat transformers or something. Instead of these like majestic beasts, they should have like the ugly animals. Okay. That would be hilarious. Anyway, it looks really dumb. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So Beast Wars was succeeded by Beast Machines. What are they called though?
Beasts. That's all they don't even. They're not even imaginative.
It's just Beast Wars Transformers.
And I would never call an eagle a beast. But anyway.
So are they Autobots? Are some of them Decepticons?
No, I think they're all the good guys, but they're not Autobots because they're not bots.
No, some of them are gotta be the Decepticons too, so I don't know the lore on
rats.
this.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the rats are Decepticons and they're in this movie.
Who out there is excited to see Transformers Rise of the Beast coming out in June? It's like comes out right before The Flash, like June 9th or something.
Watch it at home one day when it's free and just make fun of it.
Well, I gotta go see this in the theaters to report back on this.
See it in the theater. Oh my gosh! I'll probably start laughing out loud. You'd have to take me out.
I guess. Okay.
I apologize for this woman.
Well, I'm going to say it comes out June 9th. Yeah, I was right.
And there's a bunch of kids sitting there with their little Transformers.
It's got Ron Perlman as the voice of Optimus Primal. That's the gorilla.
Oh, they can't even give him his own name.
No, that is the name they gave him. That's a Hasbro name. They didn't just come up with that.
Primal?
They came up with that in the 90s.
Something other. Anyway.
So.
Well. Good for you, Ron Perlman. Sure, you're making some money off it.
Michelle Yeoh is in this.
Yeah, I heard her voice as
one of the Transformers.
I think she was. Was she the? No, I heard her voice, and it sounded really dumb.
She plays Maximal Arizor.
She was a bird, I think.
Yeah.
I heard her voice in the trailer, and I'm like, oh
Transformers.
My gosh. This is
maybe that was the Hawk one.
If you're 10, go to see it. If you're over 10, don't go to see it.
Well, see, don't say things like that, because there could be like people of all ages that love it. Now you're just insulting them. If you want
to bring your little Transformer, go ahead. But that's who it's for. I'm
sorry. Don't
be
little people that like this stuff, okay?
It's for children.
If you like Transformers, regardless of whatever age you are, go ahead and enjoy it, and don't listen to whatever crap she's talking, okay? It's not for us. No. And I'm trying to be more civil about it.
It's good for kids. Their kids are going to think it's amazing.
If kids like it, that's great. If adults like it, that's great too. It's not hurting anyone. We don't need to get on it. Okay? People would say the exact same thing to you about your Harry Potter that you love, okay? And they would say, well, that's just childish. Wouldn't. Yeah, they would. Okay?
I just don't like Harry Potter.
So let us know if you're excited to see Transformers Rise of the Beast coming out on June 9th. And if you've seen it already, by the time this video comes out, or if you're watching it later on, let us know what you thought of it, if you enjoyed it or not.
If you're 10, this is going to be your most favorite movie of the year.
Moving on to the next trailer. We saw the new trailer that came out this week for Dune Part 2.
Right. In other words, Dune continued.
Yeah.
Because
first
Dune
one was just like hanging out in the desert.
It's just kind of getting going and it ends. You're like, where's the rest of it? Even though it was like 3 hours long. But I really liked it.
It was long.
It was like, where's the rest of it? Like,
okay, the first Dune is sitting at 83% certified fresh critic rating and a 90% audience score. So people really liked it. I'm in the minority. I didn't care for this.
Even if you can't even understand the language,
it was
just watch
2 hours and 35 minutes,
which isn't really long actually. Now
I'm not saying that's a bad movie, because it's not. It's beautifully made. It won all kinds of awards. Not that I care about the awards, because that's just all about campaigning and that crap.
Well, the cinematography is beautiful.
The effects are good. The cinematography is beautiful. The director did an amazing job. Who's Canadian, Denis Villeneuve. He did an amazing job, because we're here in Canada.
It's like a giant sand opera.
Yeah, except he's from Quebec, and we're unfortunately stuck out here on the far east coast on the ocean.
Even if it was all in French and you watch it, you'd still like it because it's just beautiful.
Yeah, which is exactly what you would say if you saw Blade Runner 2049, which I haven't seen.
No.
So, Dune 2 comes out later this year. What did you think of the trailer?
Well, I'm like, yeah, this is the rest of the movie that I need to watch. Essentially, it's almost like this is the next part of the movie. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I'm going to have to go back and watch the first one again before I go. Because it is really a continuation. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. I don't think it's given us a runtime. No, not yet. But it comes out in wide release November 3rd. So this is, which is when it's supposed to come out, because they said, 2 years ago that it would be coming out in late and at the end of the year in 2023.
At the time,
when we got the first one in like 2020 or something.
At the time, it seemed like a pretty long movie, but now that's standard fare for all movies, it seems.
No, I'm watching a lot of short movies lately.
Well, you're going to see them because they're short. But I mean, it's actually not that long compared to the average these days.
2:35?
Yeah, at the time it seemed like really long, but now most movies are really long.
We're getting way too many long movies these days. So we're getting some returning cast. We're getting Timothée Chalamet. We got Zendaya. We got, I think we saw him in the trailer briefly, Josh Brolin is back. He was that guard guy with the sword. Okay, Dave Bautista is back as one of the Harkonnen, as they call it.
Creepy guys.
Okay. We also got Stellan Skarsgård is back as the other creepy, even more disgusting Harkonnen. Okay. We got Javier Bardem is back as Stilgar. He's like the leader of the Fremen there, the desert people. You would call them Jawas in another franchise, sand people.
But they're not tiny. They look like humans.
They're still sand people.
Okay.
Okay. And now we got all kinds of... So in addition to those returning people, because Oscar Isaac isn't returning, as far as we know, because he's dead, right? His character's dead. A spoiler for a movie that came out a couple of years ago. But we're getting more cast. We're getting Rebecca Ferguson is back. Sorry, I forgot her. That's his mom. But we're getting Austin Butler, Elvis, Florence Pugh, who's Yelena, new Black Widow. We're getting Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
he's the Emperor. He wasn't in the trailer, but everyone is so serious. Okay.
Been happy to play that role. That sounds like a fun role.
I'll bet he was.
I mean, we want you in our movie. We want you to be the Emperor.
Everyone
say yes.
Yeah. Who apparently the Emperor in Star Wars is based off of Frank Herbert's Dune Emperor.
Oh, it is cool. That's even better.
Star Wars, because George Lucas
would have made a great.
Was influenced by that.
He would have been a great Emperor in Star Wars.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Weird.
So anyway, he's going to do his weird walk-in voice,
yeah, I love him. Anyway, that's great.
So are you excited to see this in November?
Yes.
Good.
I am. I like the first one. I'm excited for the rest of the movie.
If this ends up being 3 hours or longer,
I don't
still
care.
Gonna be excited?
I didn't mind. I didn't even I know it was long, but I was just like absorbing the experience.
The trailer for me looks beautiful. Looks just as good as it did in the first
more like
one.
Sand dune stuff in it.
And I mean, and I liked how they did the sandworm. Okay, the first ride for Paul Atreides. It's in the trailer.
It looks really good.
Because it's kind of from his perspective instead of just, it's way in the background. He's like, yeah, I'm cool riding this giant sandworm.
All the perspectives.
Look like some dumb shot. I think, they did that on purpose. But I'm really not looking forward to this. That first one was so
You didn't like it. I loved it.
And even though he's a great director and everyone loves his stuff, I don't like Denis Villeneuve films because all his movies are slow burns, and I don't like slow burn movies. You gotta
want people to be up
get on with the story,
chopping each other's heads off and that kind of stuff.
No,
I
you
really
gotta keep yourself engaged.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I can't wait for the next part.
Okay, I'm not really looking forward to it much, but oh well. That's just me and Christine's like, so we're on opposite sides here. What do you guys think about the new trailer for Dune Part 2 coming out in November of this year? hopefully it doesn't get delayed for you. I don't really care. Let us know what you think about it. Did you like the first one? Leave a comment down below, please. Might read it out in future episode. Okay, that's it for all the trailers that we did. Now we're going into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I haven't
brand
seen it.
new. So this is going to be a spoiler-free review.
I did read something in the news as it was deemed depressing. I don't know if that chimes with you or not.
It's emotional.
Okay.
So
that doesn't sound
if
good.
People are sad, it's because, well, there's a really sad undertones to the trailer.
It did seem sad.
Everyone's predicting.
And I'm like, who's dying?
Okay, everyone's predicting from the trailer who's gonna die.
Yeah, it does appear.
I hear a lot about this stuff.
A lot about.
So
mourning.
It is currently, and it's more reviews are coming in, but it is currently rated 80% certified fresh rating and 96% audience score. So that's really high for an audience score.
Yeah, but
and
not
for
high.
A superhero movie, that's still pretty good for critic rating.
Guardians movie, that seems low for a critic score.
I don't know. Maybe
I think the first one is a perfect. It's just great. It reminds me of like the first 3 Star Wars movies, so the old ones. I
posted
fantastic.
A spoiler-free reaction, but I just wanted to expand on this. Okay, so I'm not giving anything away here.
No,
okay.
I love my ears.
No, this is spoiler-free. Okay. If I do any kind of minor spoilers, I'll put up the spoiler warning. Okay. So, I enjoyed this movie. It was a lot of fun. But I was talking on my reaction about things that I didn't really enjoy. Okay.
Oh.
I mentioned that the soundtrack isn't as good as previous movies.
Oh,
okay.
Their soundtrack was so good.
But yeah, even in the second one, I enjoyed the soundtrack, but this one wasn't as good. Now, having said that, there are a couple good ones that I liked, but nothing compared to before. And there's one really great action sequence to a piece of music.
Okay.
And it's probably one of the best action music sequences we've seen in this whole franchise. It's really good. And I really enjoyed that and how they did it with the cinematography. Essentially, they did it all as one long shot.
Okay.
Okay? And it's all over the place, but it's great. That's all I'm going to say on that. So that was amazing. The movie does focus on one character, and you get vibes from that from the trailer. Okay? All the characters get to shine. Okay? You even get to see a whole bunch of Adam Warlock, which we get in the trailer as well, okay?
I don't know who that is, but...
That's Will Portier. Is that his name?
I don't know who either of those people are, but anyway, I guess I'll find out on Sunday.
I've seen him in a bunch of stuff.
He's a new character?
Yeah, Will Poulter. Sorry, I got that wrong. Will Poulter plays Adam Warlock. That's a famous character which people have been speculating for years because of clues that they've left in other movies about this character. And people are like, when are we going to see Adam Warlock? And I'm like, is anyone out there really loving Adam Warlock? He's kind of a D-list character, but to me, if you love Adam Warlock, if that's your favorite Marvel character, good on you. I didn't really like the portrayal of that character, but as I don't really care about this character, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
It just... And maybe it was true to the character from the comics, but he's always been a D-list character to me, so I really don't give a damn. But we get to find out. We saw they've been releasing all kinds of TV spots online, and so they've been revealing more and more stuff. So if you've been watching all those, like they've spoiled quite a bit.
I don't want to watch them.
I stopped watching them a while ago.
I don't want to watch them because that's the thing I don't like when trailers give away. I just want to go and enjoy it and be surprised.
It doesn't give away. I will say that I never thought I would see the character, the High Evolutionary, in a live action movie one day.
Again, I have no idea.
No one knows who this character is. Even hardcore comic book fans don't know who this is. I only know about it because it was a character that really, I'm not sure if it was derived, if this character was created in the 80s, but there was a lot of High Evolutionary stuff in the 80s, and I was reading a lot, and I've read a lot of stuff from the 80s.
Okay.
And sometimes he's a villain, sometimes he helps the heroes, right? but he's just always out for himself.
Okay?
So, in terms of this guy's character, he's a real dick in this movie, okay?
He's a bit of a Q.
No, worse than that. He's definitely the villain. Okay? And he's a real dick about it, okay? Because this movie, what James Gunn does, he likes to put a lot of emotion and stuff, but he pairs it with a lot of humor, which he does in the other Guardians movies. So there's some particularly one heavy topic in this. Okay? I mean, there's quite a few good themes in it, but they're more mature themes.
Am I gonna cry?
But he brings it. Okay, I'm gonna make a comparison to another movie, so I don't spoil this. Okay.
Okay.
If you're someone who will cry at spoilers for Bambi from whenever that was.
You know who you are out there. Who cried at Bambi and embarrassed the heck out of me.
Okay. If you're someone who cries at Bambi when her mom dies, okay?
His mom. Bambi's a boy.
Sure. I don't care. Okay? You're not gonna like this movie.
Uh-oh. I know someone that can't go see it.
So, because it's really gonna affect you.
Okay. Well, I didn't cry at Bambi.
So there are quite a few sad moments, and I'm like, wow, that's tough. And I don't know if it's really meant for young kids because it's 2 hours and 30 minutes, but it is fun. The way he presents it, though, it's like, if your kid can't handle Bambi's mom dying, your kid can't handle this. But if they can handle that, they can handle this.
Not just your kid, but the adult you're with as well.
Was it a kid or adult that ruined your experience of watching Bambi?
Both. I was so embarrassed.
Okay. Sure. Okay. I like seeing, we get to see a lot more Nebula in this, and I enjoyed that. She's really she's like the lovable character that you hate, right? Because she was a villain in the first one.
She's very dark humor.
But she's just that person that's always pissed off and angry and talking down to everyone and kind of being, very toxic.
She's very sarcastic.
But she's part of the team. She's part of the family. Because a lot of this is about family.
Right. She's a bit of an Eeyore, but with more sarcasm.
Sure.
She is a bit of an Eeyore in the way that she talks about things. That's what makes it funny.
So, I had a fun time with this. It's from 1940. The original one is from 1942. So, sorry if I spoiled this movie for you from
it's a fabulous movie.
81 years ago.
Well, I went to see it in
You haven't seen it by now. What are you doing?
I probably went to see it in like 1982 or something.
Okay.
With some people. You know who you are.
Okay. So, I enjoyed this. I give it a best movie ever ranking. And in fact, while I've said I've had fun with a lot of other superhero movies lately, this one it's not the most, I don't think it's my favorite Guardians, but I still had a really fun time with it. So much that I'm going to take Christine on the weekend to go see it.
Yeah, we're going
probably on Sunday after I go see something else. So I'm willing to go back and see it again. So that's good. So I recommend checking this out. It's not fun like Black Adam is, which Black Adam was really fun, by the way.
The first one I think is so excellent. I really think it's my favorite Marvel movie.
This one's really good. However, I can see it being other people's favorite. I don't think it's mine though, but I have to let some time pass because it's what do they call that? Recency bias.
Right, but unfortunately, you said the soundtrack isn't as good. I mean, I like the soundtrack. No. You like the soundtrack of the older ones, and we don't have the same taste in music.
There is the one action sequence to really good music that I liked. It's just one song, and then there's a callback, another song that we've already heard for, and the other ones I was like, not for me. Maybe it's just me. They were all like obscure and indie songs that I'm like, no, put in the hits. That's why they're hits, because people like them.
I might like it then.
That's my spoiler for your review. I'm not giving anything else away. Okay. We'll talk about it in spoilers after we both watch it.
What's our next?
Now, you want to review a book?
Oh, yeah.
Christine is going to review Fairy Tale by Stephen King, which just came out last year.
It came out, I guess, in September. I don't know if it's out in paperback or not yet. But I listened to it on Audible because I have no time to carry books around with me.
Mm-hmm.
It was really different. I've never read Stephen King before. I know, seeing the size of some of his books, that they're long.
Yeah,
it's
like a giant tome.
Okay, this one, it says on here 657 pages. I believe it because I think when I went to start listening to it, it was like 18 hours or something. Anyway, it's a lot. This book is it's a saga, we will say.
Saga. You're thinking the game console, Sega.
Anyway, it is a lot, and I enjoyed it. It's not scary, per se. It's not like a scary thing like it. Or
most of his
like
books aren't scary. A lot of them are just weird.
No, I'm reading another one now because after I read Fairy Tale, right now I'm reading another one about a killer, Mr. Mercedes. I started reading that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost finished that one. But yeah, Fairy Tale, it's fun. It's like the title. I'll just give you. It's not really a spoiler, but it does have our old stories, like the fairy tales of, Cinderella and the old woman in the shoe and all that kind of stuff. These things come to life in it. But it's really, the book is in 2 parts. The first part has nothing to do with fairy tales. And then the second part is
so it's just weird then?
I don't want to give it away, but the first part is in normal life. And then the second part is in the fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's quite epic, and it takes a long time, and there's like difficult things in it. People die in the book. And it's about really
what genre
a boy.
Is this?
Gee, I don't know what genre is it? It's
drama?
Very different. I think
crime.
I was wondering if he wasn't like eating too many weird pills when he wrote some of it, because some of it's kind of.
Well, Stephen King has admitted to the media that he has written some of his stuff under the influence of.
Definitely, I think some of it.
Narcotics.
The Fairy Tale is a dark fantasy novel. That's what they're calling it. Dark
fairy tale. Dark fantasy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's about a 17-year-old kid, and he finds himself in a weird situation, and how it's all about him and his love for a dog. Essentially, that's what it's about. That's all I'm gonna say. It's fun. I enjoyed it. I recommend it.
What rating would you give it? Best or worst?
I don't do that. I definitely give it like a 93. It was really interesting. It kept me wanting to. It's a lot though. He goes in a lot of detail over things. Now other people would probably say
disgusting detail, or
no.
Just boring detail.
Just a lot of detail of everything. If someone else wrote this book, it would be like 250 pages.
Yeah,
right?
They trim out the fat. So he's channeling his inner Tolkien then.
Well, but I think it was good. I enjoyed it. I wanted to listen to every word.
Mm-hmm.
If I look on here, what's the rating? 4.2 out of 5, 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon. 93% like this book. So just like, yeah. I liked it though. It was interesting, and you didn't know where it was going.
Do you want to do a spoiler section?
No, because no one's read it.
Okay.
It just came out. I don't even know if it's in. It's probably available in softcover now. I don't know, because it just came out in September.
You listened to the audio, right?
It was only published September 6th.
Christine's really into the audio books. So that's her thoughts on it. I'm not going to comment because I haven't read it or listened to the audio book. Have you checked out this new Stephen King book? Are you a fan of it or not? Is it one of his better ones, or is it just middle of the road, or is it terrible?
It seems different from the stuff I've seen made in movies.
Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, please. Love to hear from more people. Let's just keep it civil, please. As you were saying that, I was thinking, there's a Stephen King movie I gotta check out, because I know all about it, but I've never actually watched it. I gotta watch Misery from 1990.
Oh, I've seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I probably can, tell you the whole story of the movie, and I've never seen it.
I did see it.
It's been parodied a lot. It's been explained to me, but
Kathy Bates is in that, right?
Yep, Kathy Bates. Who else
it's not like this one. It's not like that. Although
James Caan and Kathy Bates.
There is some suffering in it for sure.
Oh yeah, I know about that. Moving on to our next review, we both got to go see Polite Society yesterday. So that is new out this weekend.
Yeah.
This is a comedy sort of action movie. Okay? I mean, the action is part of the comedy, I would say. It's currently rated at 91% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with an 84% audience score. It's only an hour and 43 minutes. You go ahead and give your thoughts on this first, dear.
I liked it. It was cute. It's not really my thing. I don't have a sister. I think if you had a sister, an older sister, that married a douchebag guy, and you knew he was a douchebag, and you didn't like his family, this movie's for you. Basically, because you can envision what could happen if only you could be the superhero to like beat up the mom and stop the wedding and rescue your sister. Because really, this is like it's like an extreme version of that. And basically all they want the sister for
is... This is spoiler-free.
Oh yeah,
spoiler-free review.
Spoiler-free. Anyway, basically, if there was a jerk going to marry your sister and you could stop it, this would be the movie for you.
What would you do? And she's like 17 or something?
Well, it's just, and it's like sisters getting along, loving each other and living at home, and then of course your sister has to grow up and leave, right? Now, sometimes it could be the younger sister getting married first, but most of the time it's the older sister. Anyway, it's kind of, this movie's for you. You see that douchebag guy and she's really into him and you're like, why are you into him? He's a douchebag. So this movie would be for you. For me, I don't have a sister. I have a younger brother. This doesn't really apply to my situation. It was fun. It was cute. It's just not for me.
You didn't like this?
I liked it enough, but it's not. It was cute. I mean, it's just basically, whoever wrote this really wanted their sister not to marry that guy. And it's like an exaggerated kind of version of that. I thought it was cute. I'll give it probably like an 87 or something. I thought it was cute.
Okay, so audiences have given, I just said it, but so I think it's at 84%, 91% critic rating, 84. This was it's not too long, it's not too short either, hour and 43, so it's a comedy movie. It's about these two sisters, and one of them's growing up, the other, and they want to support each other. The younger one wants to support the older one more, okay? And doesn't want her to give up on her dreams. It's all about your dreams and what you want to be.
It's also not wanting, she wants
and
her
it's
to
very
stay
much
as she
about
is.
Indian culture, and this takes place in London.
They're Pakistani.
Sorry. East Indian culture, but specifically Pakistani. I'm not trying to insult anyone here. And the culture and its portrayal, it's great. I love it, okay? Reminds me of the Ms. Marvel series. And they have, there's this party at one point. I think it's called an Eid Soiree or something. I'm probably butchering that. I apologize. They have these great parties, and then there's this, I don't want to give it away, but there's some great parties, and there's some great outfits and dresses and everything.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
And dancing. You gotta have the dancing.
There's a little bit of dancing, not that much dancing.
The fighting is more like a dance, and so it's a choreography,
and
it's
very much dancing
for
fun. This type of movie.
Now,
There's
it's
really
got some people in it that I recognize. It's got Ritu Arya, who plays Lena. That's the older sister, and we saw her recently
in Umbrella Academy.
Yep, we saw her.
She plays Diego's crazy girlfriend. Now, she's really good at fighting, and she fights a lot in that as well.
Here's who I noticed in it: Nimra Bucha, or Buka. I hope I'm probably mispronouncing it. She plays Riala. That's the mother-in-law. She's the villain. Okay, and we just saw her as she played one of the Jinn in Ms. Marvel. And she was great in that.
Yeah, she's the evil.
And she's got this great voice.
Yeah.
Okay? Now,
she's evil.
I don't know how she got that voice, whether she was born with that or something else, but she has this great sinister voice, and how she's able to look on camera and make herself look really sinister and malicious. She's doing a great job acting. She's acting circles around everyone else. And then she's got this son who's like this mama's boy. Oh my goodness.
Well, that is the culture, to pamper the boy. And if there's only one boy, the only child, I mean, it's very typical how he's portrayed.
Yeah, and it's hilarious. It's definitely hilarious, okay? And so you're watching this, and it's a funny comedy, and then suddenly, I'm not going to spoil it, but it takes a left-hand turn, which kind of reminded me of a couple of movies. It reminded me of Get Out, even though this is not a scary movie, and it reminded me of that independent film, Thank You for Calling, which had Lakeith Stanfield in it. In both those movies, you're watching it, and then suddenly these movies take a left-hand turn that comes out of nowhere, and you're like, whoa! And it does that in this, except it's not to as extreme as those movies, and it's done more in a funny way.
Yeah. It's
I'm
a
not going to give it away,
of what really happens in
great.
real life when basically the
with the arranged marriages.
Basically, yeah. Like in our office.
And the mama's boy.
We've had an arranged marriage, and that poor girl, that's all I can say. That poor girl.
Why?
Because the mother-in-law that is on, basically arranged this, and now she has to marry that guy, and he's like not good.
Yeah, he's I don't want to get into that.
And I feel so bad, but this is the situation, and it happens all the time in those families where there's a match, it's arranged, and sometimes someone doesn't get it's not in their favor.
Yeah, I guess one person's a little bit higher up on the food chain, and they kind of have to marry someone who's a little bit lower, let's say.
Because they have a better mother
at arranging the marriage.
Arranging it. That's basically what
Well,
it's
good
about.
on that mother, right?
Yeah, well, this is what it's about.
That's her doing her job.
It's all about the mother, and
Because my understanding, and I don't know much about this culture, but from my perspective, arranged marriages are not about bringing two people together. They're about bringing together two families, okay? Which is a very great concept. And if it works, great.
Yeah.
This movie, it was a fun time. It had a lot of laughs in it. I wasn't busting a gut through the whole time, but I had a really fun time. And I would have enjoyed this seeing it in a full theater, because there was only like 3 people in the theater, aside from me, when I went to go see it. So, not that popular. It's made in English, but I think it's made for a different market. It's all English subtitles. So now a lot of people don't like subtitles, so you just kind of have to
subtitles.
Because you watch closed captioning all the time on TV, but I'm not used to it, and it's distracting. But I just kind of not pay attention to it because you don't need it, because the subtitles are in English.
Yeah, well, and I guess it could play in different places.
Yeah, I think it's made for other markets.
Yeah.
Anyway, love it though. But then again, in India, in the two main languages in India are supposed to be English and Farsi, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments below. So English is a main part of the culture in other parts of the world. So I think that's why it was made in English, my guess. The families in it are great. The 2 ladies playing the sisters are great. The 2 different moms, especially the one who's a villain, she's great, but the other mom, she's funny as well. Yeah. So really good character work, and it's not too long. If you're looking for a fun time at the movies and you just want to have a good laugh, go see Polite Society. It's great.
Yeah.
I give it a best movie ever. It's not my all-time life, but I had a fun time.
I liked it. It wasn't really for me, but yeah, if you know someone that has a marriage like that and you just wish that you could have stopped it, this is for you. Because someone's getting not a good deal on this arrangement, right?
This director is also the screenwriter. Her name is Nida Manzoor. Yes. This is her first movie.
Oh, great.
Good job on this, lady.
I mean, it's really fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
What rating did you give this?
I think I'm like an 86 or something.
And you said it wasn't for you?
It's not really for me. It's not happened to me, but if you were in this situation, you would give this movie like a 99.
Yeah.
Because it's if only you could have done what this girl does.
However,
basically.
I'm not, this culture isn't mine. I like learning and enjoying other cultures. So as a pretty hardcore white guy, I mean, it's hard to find someone more white than me. I had a fun time, and it was great, and I enjoy learning about this stuff and seeing other cultures.
I don't like fighting that much, so that's why, to me, it's not...
But it's comedy fighting.
I know, but it's not... Anyway, they had some good moves in it, I'll give them that.
those actresses must have had a great time, like, in those fight scenes. They looked like they were having a ball. They were chewing all the scenery.
They had to wear these big dresses, though, to do it.
Yeah, that must have been difficult.
Yeah, hard.
Apparently, though, Jedi robes are, like, the worst to fight in.
Well,
they're terrible. That's what everyone says.
She takes her earrings off at one point, but it looked like it was difficult.
But they still have these, like, heavy necklaces.
So much beating, and, like, yeah, like, it looked like it was hard.
It'd be hard to move in those things.
Anyway, it was fun. I liked it, but if you ever, or it doesn't matter if you're not from that culture, if you ever knew someone you didn't want them to marry that guy because you knew that they was basically not a good guy and his mother was behind it all, there you go.
Or just a bad family.
This will make you feel so good.
Yeah, go check out Polite Society in the theaters. It's a fun time. Come back and let us know your thoughts down below, and if you saw it, let us know. Did you like it or not? We want to hear from you. We might read that out on a future episode. My next review is for Big George Foreman, which I just saw at theaters. It has a really long title here on Rotten Tomatoes. It says Big George Foreman, The Miraculous Story of the Once and Future Heavyweight Champion of the World. That title is way too long. It's currently rated at 45% Rotten Critic rating and 96% audience score, so audiences are loving it, but critics aren't. I left a spoiler-free reaction video on my channel when I got out of it. However, I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. This is going to be a non-spoiler, so spoiler-free here. I would say I fall more on the audience side because I had a really fun time with this movie. I would say I haven't enjoyed this movie as much as I've enjoyed a boxing movie since I saw Rocky Balboa back when that came out in the theater. When did I see that in the theater? When did it come out? Like 2007, 2008, somewhere around that time period? Anyway, I felt this was a really good story about George Foreman. I can't really spoil it because it's history. It's his life. If you've read a biography of him or followed him in his career, you know a lot about what's happened. I mean, it's in the public record. He's been in the news a lot. But I'm not going to spoil, what happens. It's just essentially the story of his life and all the good he's done and how he got to that point. It was a great story. I had a really good time. I mean, he comes from very, very humble beginnings, and he just worked his way up. I mean, he's flawed like everyone else. He had anger issues when he was younger, like a lot of young people. And I just had a really great time with it. Who's in it? Forrest Whitaker is in it. Now, it's a little long. It's 2 hours, 9 minutes. I guess they could have tightened it up a little bit. I didn't know a lot about George Foreman before I saw this. I knew some of the outcomes of some of the fights, but even the ones that I knew about, there's one where he's fighting in 1968 Olympics, and I'm like, yeah, just hit that Russian commie bastard, hit him again. Russians aren't exactly, the favorite of everyone in the world right now. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed him beating up that Russian. And then there's the famous George Foreman, Muhammad Ali fight for heavyweight. I think they called it the Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire, and that was in sometime in the 70s. And I don't like the Muhammad Ali character in this movie. He's really... Now, I don't like the personality at all. He's really arrogant, and I just can't stand him at all. So when he's fighting him, I'm like, yeah, just keep hitting him. I was cheering him on in the theater, even though my theater wasn't that busy. I'm still like, yeah, hit that bastard. Hit him again. He deserves it. And as I was watching this, I also thought about other boxing movies besides, like, Rocky Creed movies. I think I might have enjoyed this more than all of those movies. Maybe not as much as I enjoyed Rocky Balboa, because that's my favorite one. But I definitely enjoyed this more than that Muhammad Ali movie from several years back in the past with Will Smith. I didn't find that movie very good, and I just kind of watched it and moved on, didn't really go on, but this was way better. I enjoyed this much more. So I would definitely give this a best movie ever. If you're looking for a good time and an inspirational story, it doesn't get really like bloody or violent, so it's not as bloody even as, say, John Wick. It's not rated R. It says it's rated PG-13, so that's in the US. What would it be rated here? I'm not sure if it was rated PG here or if it was rated AA-14, which just means you have to be 14 and over to go by yourself. I had a really good time with this movie. Let me know what you think of Big George Foreman and the rest of their insanely long title. Let me know what you thought of this movie if you're going to go see it, and yeah, share your thoughts on it. Let me know down in the comments below. Hello there, thank you for watching. My next review is on Barry, Season 4, Episode 4. This is going to be a spoiler review. The episode is called It Takes a Psycho. And I was really looking forward to this because the last episode last week ended kind of on a cliffhanger with Barry getting out of prison there. So this episode said spoilers. I'm going to have the warning up. You knew that they were just going to hold off the whole episode. You weren't going to see Barry, Bill Hader's character, at all. Instead, it's just following multiple storylines. It follows Gene Cousineau a little bit. He pops up, but not for too much in this episode. He did this to himself. Now he's out hiding in the woods because he gave that one-man play for the Vanity Fair journalist. Not a smart thing for him to do, and wow, he's going to have some implications for what happens at the end there when he wakes up. So his storyline's pretty fun. We got Sally. Her storyline seemed to be the least interesting for me of this because she's just kind of, she hit the high point of her acting career and it didn't work out, and then she just dropped down. Now she's this acting coach for essentially a younger version of herself, and the younger girl, she can't act very much and she's not very good at what she's doing there. Regardless, Sally's there. She's helping out. She's trying to steal her job at one point. That was pretty funny. And there was quite a few laughs in this episode, I found, but still lots and lots of drama. So Sally, she seems to be, to me, it seems like she's just done with Hollywood. She was, she had her rise to stardom. She got cast to star in a pilot for a sitcom, but that got axed, and then she had her social media crash because of what she did, and it got videotaped. Now she's an acting coach. She's making a comeback. Then a guy offers her a job as an acting coach. I think she's just done with Hollywood. It doesn't seem like she wants to put up with it at all, to me. And can't say as I blame her. That wouldn't be for everyone. The cops that were looking for Gene, Mr. Cousineau, near the beginning of the episode, that was hilarious when the cops first show up, because they race to his house and then one stops him and the other one's stopping right behind him, but he doesn't stop fast enough and he rear ends the guy in front of him. It's like, oh shit. That was hilarious. I was laughing a lot at that. There was quite a few Mosses around, and he's trying to track down everyone. I'm not sure who he's trying to find more, Gene or Barry. But we don't see Barry until the end there. I liked Fuchs' storyline. I liked how he was getting the crap beat out of him. He's had that coming to him for 4 seasons now, so he's definitely deserved that. But now he seems to be getting all this respect in prison. They're treating him as if he's the king because he took a beating and he didn't squeal. That's how they know, because they just keep beating him. And then they see him in the cafeteria there, in the mess hall, the prison. And everyone stops and no one takes a bite to eat or says anything until he takes a bite to eat. So they're treating him like he's the king now. It's prison rules, I guess. Anyway, he doesn't deserve that at all. He deserved the beating, definitely, for sure. Probably the most interesting storyline this episode was the Hank and Cristobal with, I'm wondering what's going on. You're taking all these guys and all their hired thugs, and they're showing them a good time. They got lots of drinks. They got, illegal gambling. They got all kinds of stuff. They got a lounge over there. So they're just getting drunk and high, whatever. And then, I don't know how drunk you need to be, but then he takes them out. Hey, let's go out to this silo I got full of sand. Why would I want to see that? How drunk are these guys? And then not only let's go see the silo of sand, let's go up to the top and stand on top of the sand. And he encourages them to take their shoes off. I'm like, what is this? Also, why are they going in there? And then as soon as Hank leaves, I'm like, oh, geez. Okay, because, one, I would never go into a silo because those things are death traps. So, yeah, with the sand, he just opens up the bottom and they all get sucked in. Of course, Cristobal's not supposed to be there, so that was kind of dumb on his part, but Cristobal doesn't seem to be very smart. Because then later on, he's devastated and he leaves Hank. Why doesn't he understand that if he leaves, he's dead? Even the Chechnyan said it to him when he was being rude. And, well, he was just kind of catatonic. But even the Chechnyan says to him, okay, as long as you're Hank's family, then you're our family. So as long as he stays with Hank, everything's fine. So when he walks out of him, buddy, doesn't he realize he's going to be dead? That just, I don't know. I thought that was kind of dumb on his part because it was so obvious for me. And, man, you definitely see a real dark side of Hank in this episode. He, he's always playing this character. I can't remember the actor's name, but he's always playing this character that he's just fun and funny. And he's wearing all these ridiculous outfits and acting just way over the top and flamingly gay, but he's vicious. He's cold-blooded. The fact that he's just like, nah, they were gonna kill us eventually, betray us, so I killed them. Now we got loyalty, we got protection, and we control this town. We're good. I don't understand what was Cristobal trying to do? Be a nice gang leader? That didn't make any sense to me. I mean, I guess it goes back to the prison rules, when you're only the toughest move up to the top there. Well, it's not exactly like prison, but I mean, I've never been a gang lord. I've never been involved with that kind of life, but I imagine the toughest and the ruthless ones are the ones that move up to the top because they're the ones that take out the people above them and work their way up that way. It's a wolf's den, right? So that I don't know. I thought Cristobal was being really he should have just realized he had to stay if he wanted to live. That was not smart on his part. Finally saw Barry at the end there. He shows up at Sally's apartment, I guess. Wouldn't the cops be checking that out? Why is just Moss there? It's Moss, right? That's the dad. Yeah. Wouldn't the cops be there as well? Wouldn't they have gone to the set to question her? Anything? Hey, your ex-boyfriend that you just broke up with is now just broke out of prison. Isn't the ex-girlfriend the first one that the prisoners, the escaped convicts, gonna go to? That didn't seem to make much sense. And then she says, let's get out of here. And then it cuts to something weird. It cuts to the two kids fighting, and then the one kid goes into the house, and there's his parents there. It's Barry and Sally. So are we supposed to believe that that's flash forward 20 years? Maybe. I don't buy that though. I think maybe that's what Barry wants. That's how he pictures his life, because he thinks that Sally's gonna stay with him. And that they're just going to go hide out, middle of nowhere, live on a farm, have their kids. They're going to be happy. No one's ever going to find them. I don't see that how this story ends. So I think that was just his vision of, or his dream of what he wants. I don't know. We'll see next week what happens there. We still got, what do we got here? 4 more episodes of Barry. I'm doing these reviews on Monday and posting them on Monday because I can't stay up till... I would have to stay up till past midnight here to finish watching it because it doesn't drop till 11:30 here on HBO. That's my thoughts on this latest episode 4. It Takes a Psycho for season 4 of Barry. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. Are you enjoying this show? Where are the big Barry hardcore fans? If you're not watching this, like, why did you just watch this then? But get HBO and check it out. It's great. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Welcome back for another segment of Into the DCEU, where Christine and we explore all the DCEU properties. We currently got 12 of them. And this is our 4th segment where we reviewed Wonder Woman from 2017. Christine, would you like to start off, or would you like me to start off on this one?
You can start off on it.
What I am going to do, I'm going to focus my reviews because I think I'm being too negative in my reviews. In fact, we recently got a comment about your review, how you didn't you focus too much on the negative. This is constructive criticism. Yes, you did mention good things. So Wonder Woman from 2017, 2 hours, 21 minutes. Too long. I didn't like that. 93% certified fresh critic rating and an 83% audience score. So what do I have to say about this? What can I say about that I like about this movie? I like that it's a Wonder Woman movie, because we haven't had one before. I like the island of Themyscira. That's great. We got Connie Nielsen as Wonder Woman's mother, Hippolyta, and we got Robin Wright as the general. And I can't pronounce her name. It's like, all I can think of is Demeter, but I know that's right. Antopy? I don't know. I can't pronounce that. Like those two. Chris Pine is in it as Steve Trevor. He's great. Danny Houston is in it. He plays Ludendorff. I don't really like that character that much. I do like the Dr. Monroe, Dr. Poison, okay, with the First World War mask. That looked cool. That's like a style of prosthetic mask that they had. At the beginning, there's a history of the gods and the Amazonians. I really enjoyed that. Unfortunately, they kept cutting away and showing 2 different things at the same time. It kept showing Kid Diana. I'm like, you don't need to do that. Just focus on the good stuff. I don't want to see this other crap about this kid. First World War, I enjoyed that. Okay? I think that was a good period to put it in, and it kind of shows that she's an older character and that she doesn't age, right? Because I guess she's immortal. Dr. Poison, her mask, I mentioned that. Oh, we see London, and it's hideous. Okay? I like that. I don't think London would have looked exactly like that. In First World War, you probably would have had more dirigibles, and it would have been even dirtier, because when they're on the streets, it would have been dirtier, but I like the look of it, and I enjoyed seeing that time period. Very conservative Edwardian period, like with the dresses and everything.
It seems like there weren't enough horses.
They do that. Well, in London, they were trying to get away from that, right? You didn't have many cars then.
No, there should have been way more horses.
But also, horses, leave manure everywhere,
I know, but
right?
they would have had a lot of horses.
Okay, but they do this fashion montage with her, and she's in this giant dress, and she's like, how do women fight in this? And I'm like, that's hilarious, okay?
But at that time during the war, the dresses were getting streamlined. The war changed all the fashion.
Oh yeah. But this is they took her to this upper high society department store or something in London, and they put her in this dress at first, which is a fancy dress for everyday business use or something. Anyway, it was funny. Now and Ms. Candy, what's her name? What's the character's actual name there?
I don't know, the secretary lady.
Yeah, Ms. Candy there. She's great. She's absolutely great, and she's not even on this cast list here. Sure. She was really good, and she's actually a major supporting character in the Wonder Woman lore. I liked her, and I like that actress in that. Diana in a big purple dress. I do like the Wonder Woman costume, parts of it. The color scheme is great. When it's bright red and gold and blue. However, and the boots, I don't know what they're called, but they're a special type of boot because they got seams in them so she can move better. I'm all for that. I still think Wonder Woman should have pants. I mentioned that in our BVS review. But the colors, how it looks, great. The actress, well, I don't want to get into the bad things about it because I'm not that big fan of Gal Gadot. Use more acting lessons. The sword and shield that she uses, those magic items, love that. Okay. The lasso, the glowing lasso. Come on, that looked cool, right? At the end in the battle, oh, by the way, this is spoilers, of course, because this movie's from, 6 years ago? She does a bunch of lasso work when she's fighting Ares. That looked great. That part of the fight was really cool. I like that. The mercenary group, those guys were great. There was Samir, he's the best one. Charlie, and then there was the chief, played by Eugene Brave Rock. Great. Oh, it's Etta Candy. I found it here. The mercenary group was great. They showed Indian British troops, which there were definitely Indian Commonwealth troops in the First World War, even on the Western Front, in the trenches. And we've been seeing that in a lot of movies lately. Even though this movie's fiction, but we've seen it in other movies that are based on real life, like 1917. Anyway, great that they included that because there absolutely were Indian troops there fighting in the First World War, and they should definitely get credit and representation for that. Great First War action sequence and No Man's Land when she's crossing No Man's Land, and then she goes into the Belgian town of Veld or something like that. Anyway, and she's fighting all the Germans. It's great. I'm not exactly so keen on the Wonder Woman theme music that we got from Zack Snyder and BVS.
You need it more.
It's
more of it.
But once they start playing that, it's like, okay, we're into hardcore action. And she's great in the action sequences. I really enjoyed that. She's like beating the crap out of all those German troops. Well, Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman have a little bit of a love encounter, let's say. I mean, it's for kids, so they don't show anything, but they have a nice dance, and then they get a night to spend some quality time together. That was nice, especially for Steve Trevor. The lasso work at the end of the fight there. Yeah, I had fun with this movie. It's not a great movie. It's overall it's kind of a dumb movie, but I had fun with it. I had some fun with it. It's not a complete dumpster fire or anything, okay? It had lots of fun parts in it, and it was a fun time. It's like Black Adam and Suicide Squad. It's a bad movie, but I had fun with it. You go. That's what I want to say because I'm just going to focus on the positive. I don't want to get into all the things I didn't like about it. What do you have to say on this, dear?
Well, I was really looking forward to having a Wonder Woman movie because when I was a kid, I had a Wonder Woman costume. I had the belt, I had the lasso, although no one taught me how to lasso. I had like the little headband. I was like all into Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman.
Did you have the traditional Wonder Woman costume?
Well, in like the late 70s, all they had was like a belt and a headpiece.
Oh, the tiara there?
It was something like that. I just remember the lasso
like a headdress?
Was like they didn't give me a shield or a sword, but I had a lasso and a belt.
Because there was a white Wonder Woman costume in the 70s.
Listen, the costumes that we had as kids when I was a kid were terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Okay?
But you're talking about it was based on, say, the Wonder Woman 77 TV show with Linda Carter.
Yeah.
Which Linda Carter's a legend.
So, anyway, I went to see this movie and I was very disappointed. Number one, right off the bat, the casting of Wonder Woman is very poor. To put a model, just because she's a model and she looks nice, and that's why they have her trying on all these dresses and stuff, it's just silly. That ruined the movie right off the bat.
The fashion montage?
No, putting a model that can't really act and only can do one weird accent, and then everyone has to talk in the same accent as her. I mean, very poor. Right off the bat, that decision started to tank the movie. Mm-hmm. So I would advise people, watch this movie up until the point where her and Steve Trevor are going to go get on a boat and then turn it off. That would be my advice. Just watch to that point. Because the rest of it just goes south. When they leave Themyscira, it's way too small. It's basically saying that the war is just about one guy. And somehow he has this superpower gas that they don't even get into. and they're going to the front, and all they need to do is get 6 guys in a trench and then go to a town and liberate it after killing 20 guys, and the Germans are right there in a castle next to it. It's so small. It's basically saying that the First World War was a tiny little argument in a tiny little place is basically what this movie is saying, controlled by one guy. It's like as if he's like a gangster or something and they got to infiltrate his gangster house.
Okay.
Essentially. So yeah, I just...
You seem to be focusing on the negative. Think about positive things that you like about this movie.
I said, watch until they go to get on a boat and then turn it off.
It's
I like the first
20
part
minutes
of the movie. The rest of it is so silly. It's just silly. And I think it just is such a disservice to Wonder Woman. And yeah, I don't like it. No. I like that first 20 minutes or whatever it is until they get on the boat, and then she tanks after that. That's my review.
Do you like David Lewis as Ares?
It doesn't make sense. Everyone can get to the front so quickly too. You just gotta take a little boat and you're there. I don't know. And the fact that Ares would be just a man also is silly. He would be someone controlling the people. He wouldn't be the guy that's signing off on the documents.
He's a powerful politician.
It's silly. It's silly.
I don't think... Okay, I agree. I'll concede. Yes, the story could have used more work. Okay?
Isn't that what a movie is? The casting is wrong and the story tanks after they leave the mascara. So,
what characters did you like in this? We already established you don't like the Wonder Woman character as it's portrayed here. Did you like Steve Trevor? Chris Pine as Steve Trevor?
He's fine. Okay. But his character doesn't make much sense because he's an American. But yet he reports directly to the British Parliament. Mm-hmm. So that doesn't make any sense. He wouldn't have he would be in the American, he would report to America. It doesn't make sense why
he could be on loan to the British, military. That happens.
That was also a poor casting decision. They should have put a British guy in there or had his superiors being the Americans or something.
But Steve Trevor is supposed to be American. He's an American character.
It doesn't make sense why he was reporting to this British lord guy. It makes no sense. Anyway, and it's so small, the whole world of this.
What about the Themyscirans? Did you like the portrayal of Themyscirans?
That's fine. They all had to try to put on the fake accent to try to mimic Gal Gadot's accent.
As I'm trying to put facts into these...
that part.
Apparently for this, Gal Gadot, as an actress, can only do an Israeli accent.
Well, that's her own voice.
Yeah, that's her native tongue. So apparently she can only do that, and so her other accents aren't very good. So to get around that, what they did was they made all the Themyscirians have an Israeli accent.
Some of them almost sound like they're Slovakian or something. They have like they're trying their best. Anyway, I don't know. They all have a little bit different accents.
Did you like Robin Wright in this?
I said yes, fine.
She looks great.
Watch that part until they go to leave Themyscira.
What about Connie Nielsen as Queen Hippolyta?
Sure. I still don't...
She looks amazing, and she does a great job.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. I don't know why she
and
doesn't
then
want her daughter to fight.
All the other Themyscirans are like MMA fighters.
Yeah, that's fine. Watch that part. That part's fine.
But as soon as they leave the island and go to London, you're like, this sucks.
It's so convoluted and small. And
I didn't find this movie that convoluted. Okay, it's not like BVS.
No, but it's just so silly. It's so tiny that the war is basically as if it was a drug lord in a house and you have to get to him and take him out.
Okay.
That's essentially what this movie was.
I concede the way they portrayed the scale in this movie was not good. Okay?
No,
well, okay. Hey, they did their best.
Anyway,
that's
my take on it. Watch till they leave Themyscira, then turn it off.
Okay, what ranking would you give this movie?
I give it a 53.
So it's still more positive than negative, then.
I like that part until they left, but it's bad.
But nothing else.
No, because it's just really dumb. After that, that's all I can say. It's really dumb.
I'm really upset about this.
No, I'm telling you, you're asking my opinion. I was excited about the movie. I went to see it, and I thought it was not good.
Okay, that's fair. On the internet rating system of best worst movie, I considered it giving a bad review. I'm going to give it best movie ever. Okay? Because, it's a bad movie. But I had fun with it.
It's a bad movie.
But I had fun with it. Now, I'm trying in each one to put in some more facts about these things. Now, last time I didn't mention how with Suicide Squad, the controversy around that was Warner Brothers, the management at the time, okay, which has since been removed, a couple times removed now. What they did, the final cut of the movie, the theatrical cut, was actually cut by the trailer company. And that's why in the movie, in Suicide Squad, when it introduced the characters and it was like, here's their name, here's their pros, here's their cons, here's their habits, that was actually copied from the recent Transformers movie at the time. I believe it was Transformers 5, which was god-awful.
They're terrible movies.
Okay? And so they wanted it to be fun and poppy, and they released a trailer for it. The first trailer that came out, it was funny and fun, but then what they realized was all the jokes were in the trailer from the movie. So they had to go back and reshoot and try to put more jokes in, and that movie wasn't as fun. Now this one, okay, so this was directed by Patty Jenkins. I think she did a pretty good job on this, and I had a fun time with it, and a lot of people liked it based on the ratings. Now, the best part about this movie is, you know who was in the media at the time after it came out? James Cameron was doing his media rounds because he was promoting the 3D version for Terminator 2 Judgment Day re-release.
Right, and I do remember agreeing with James Cameron on what
he
said.
He talks, so as James Cameron, famous Canadian, is known to do, he likes to talk trash in the media. He's always putting his foot in his mouth. It's hilarious. So, anytime I can. So, he said some crap. So, according to an article from Variety, here's what James Cameron said when he was asked about Wonder Woman. He said, all the self-congratulatory backpatting Hollywood's been doing over Wonder Woman has been so misguided. He told the outlet in an interview to promote the Terminator 2 Judgment Day re-release, she's an objectified icon, and it's just male Hollywood doing the same old thing. Then he goes on and says, I'm not saying I didn't like the movie, but to me, it's a step backwards. He continued, Sarah Connor was not a beauty icon. She was strong, she was troubled, but she was a terrible mother, and she earned the respect of the audience through pure grit. And to me, the benefit of characters like Sarah is so obvious. I mean, half the audience is female.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree with him. That's why I didn't like it. They cast someone just because of what she looks like, not because of what she can do. And Wonder Woman is supposed to be a tough old broad, and she's not in this. Casting someone like Brie Larson or someone would have been a lot better. I totally agree with him. I agree with him then. I agree with him now. Yeah. That just turned me right off.
People didn't like him saying this at the time because he was essentially mansplaining feminism to everyone.
People versus women. Women. I totally agree. And that pissed me off right in the beginning.
I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm just saying he pissed a lot of people off at the time.
And they put a fashion show in it on top of things.
Okay, get this. This article goes on. Director Patty Jenkins addressed those concerns in an interview with Los Angeles Times in May, telling publications, I get frustrated by people who think that they're defending Wonder Woman by trying to make her lesser. When people get super critical about her outfit, who's the one getting crazy about what a woman wears? That's who she is. That's Wonder Woman. I want her to look like my childhood fantasy. So I guess she had a big thing to do with the costume? The director, Patty Jenkins? Yes.
Nothing. It's not specifically about the costume. It's about the casting. It's about the fashion show. That takes a giant part of the movie, the fashion show. It's ridiculous.
It's like 2 minutes.
No, it's just... I know. I totally agree with James Cameron.
Okay. You want to know what made this story even better? Is that then in his next interview, after people got pissed off in the media at him, and there was a lot of backlash, they went... No, a lot of women. It was mostly women.
This woman.
So, then in this next interview, they're like, James Cameron, you didn't really mean that crap you said about Wonder Woman, right? And James Cameron is classic James Cameron. He's like, oh yeah, hold my beer. I got this. And he's like, not only did I mean that, but here's some more. Let me tell you what else he said.
I would have said the same.
He said this. This is what James Cameron's quote. There are many women in power in Hollywood, and they do get to guide the shape what films get made. Cameron said, I think, no, I can't account for it, because how many times do I have to demonstrate the same thing over again? I feel like I'm shouting in a wind tunnel. he went on, it's not in this article, but he actually did say more crap, and
I don't think it's crap.
He just kind of acknowledged that he stuck his foot in his mouth, and that he came off as being too harsh, because he's James Cameron, and he's always, like, bashing his ex-wife and stuff like that.
I don't think so. I think he's totally right. This is the problem with the movie. And then they went and made a second one.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Which is even more of a turd burger.
Spoiler alert, I enjoyed the second one more than I did the first one. Anyway, and I know I'm in the minority, but I just think it's hilarious.
They don't have Themyscira in the second one, so.
No, they do.
Well,
they have a flashback to when she was a kid. They bring back Kid Diana.
It's bad. Anyway, it's bad.
Okay, see, you got your mind made up about these movies all the time.
I don't. I was really excited to watch this movie, and then I watched it, and I was like, what the heck?
Okay.
I'm still going through this in this day.
You want to know what the next one that we're going to watch is? The next one we're going to watch is 2017's Justice League. This is the theatrical version that's by Joss Whedon. And, spoiler, people don't like this one that much. So we'll get into that. But you haven't seen that one, so don't make up your mind on it yet. But we're not watching the Zack Snyder one because it's like 4 hours long.
Well, so far, Suicide Squad is my favorite one.
Yeah, so let's rank it so far, okay? So, what's at the bottom for you? Of the 4 movies we've watched, which is the worst?
The Superman movie.
Man of Steel for you? Then what's up from that?
I don't know. Then I think this one, maybe.
Wonder Woman?
I don't know. Probably this one.
Then what?
It's kind of tied with the Batman versus Superman. I don't know.
If you had to pick one, gun to your head, which one's better, which one's worse? BVS or Wonder Woman?
BVS is better.
Okay, so you got Man of Steel.
Not good.
Wonder Woman. Yeah. Then you got BVS, and then you put Suicide Squad at the top.
Suicide Squad because it's
the best so far for you.
It's consistent.
And it's fun. And it's a simple story.
Consistent.
It's a simple story. It does have some stuff that doesn't make much sense.
It make me mad.
Okay, here's my ranking so far on the 4 we've watched. At the bottom, I got BVS. I've seen this movie probably like at least a dozen times, and I don't understand. For me, it's at the bottom. Okay? And then then probably Wonder Woman. Okay? I did have some fun with it, but I had more fun with Suicide Squad. That's number 2 for me, because there's some good stuff in it. And even though it's not a great movie, I had some fun with it. And there's some cool cameos. And there's a bunch of good things in it. And then I got Man of Steel, which I really enjoy. Because that's one of my favorite DC movies. Now, what do you think about Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman movie from 2017? Are you a big fan of it? Were you disappointed by it like Christine was? Or do you hate it more than Christine does? Do you want to hear more of Christine rant about this movie? I don't know. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And thank you for joining us for another segment of Into the DCEU. We'll see you for the next one next week. Welcome back for another installment of our Nap Time at Hogwarts segment, where we review another Harry Potter movie every week. And this week we watched Harry Potter 4: The Revenge.
Goblet of Fire.
So currently, this is rated as 88% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and has a 74% audience score. I think that's lower than the other ones.
I don't understand that. I think this is when things get going.
Is this one of your favorite ones?
Yeah, I mean, things are getting going here. We've got some real high stakes in this one.
I didn't find there was high stakes. Anyway, so this is a spoiler review, as all of them are, because this movie's from 2005.
People die in it, like really die, and it's...
There's no stakes for any of these characters. You know all 3 of the main characters are in all of them.
You don't know,
and then they keep bringing back all these other ones.
You haven't seen it.
Like, they keep bringing back the old guy in his pajamas, each one, okay? Dumbledore.
The start of this movie is their 2019, essentially, because now Voldemort is back. So that's essentially what's happening.
Yeah, you're talking about the weird-looking guy.
Yeah, the evil one, he who shall not be named. Yeah. Anyway, so he's back.
Let's give your thoughts on this. Feel free to spoil it as much as you want.
Yeah.
What do you like about this one?
Well, I like it. The story is moving forward a lot. This whole thing is one big story. I mean, from start to finish, it's about Voldemort coming back to power, Harry Potter finding out about himself and growing up, and this one we see all the hormones coming out and all the relationship stuff going on.
We already discussed in the last episode how this is all like sexual references.
Oh my gosh, it's not. Don't talk about
the magic in this world is a metaphor for their sexual power.
Stop it. It's not. Anyway, you see all these teenagers, start to have crushes on one another and feelings getting hurt and stuff like that, and just silly stuff. They're moving to adulthood. They're 14 at this time. The main cast, some of them are older, but Harry Potter and his friends are 14 in this movie, and there's some real high stakes. People do die in this movie, and we're starting to understand what happened when, after Voldemort was killed, or whatever happened to him when he tried to kill Harry Potter. He basically turned into nothing much.
He was killed by a baby. He
wasn't really killed. He's still around, sort of, but he's not whole.
But he's that Tom Riddle guy, which apparently was back in the 40s.
Well,
I don't quite get that. He was back in the 40s, but there was a giant snake in number 2. Remember Harry Potter 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Oh my gosh. Anyway, you don't understand any of it. Anyway, Voldemort is back, and he needed Harry's blood to do it. And this whole thing has been designed so that they can get Harry Potter to Voldemort.
Why did he need his blood?
That was what he needed, because his blood is in Harry Potter, essentially.
Gross.
It's not like that. Anyway, when he hit Harry Potter when he tried to kill Harry Potter.
As a baby.
Which
we didn't see.
He talks about this in the movie.
I don't remember seeing this.
See it. Yeah, they show it in a couple of movies. Just a very quick.
I don't remember seeing this. Have we seen this already?
That. Yeah,
because I don't remember it either.
His mother is screeching. His mother is screaming.
Which one is this?
The very first movie.
Oh.
Anyway.
It was a while ago.
And Voldemort explains what happened is that he didn't bet on love, and love of Harry's mother for him stopped the death curse, and instead of stopping it too, it kind of reversed back on him, and that's why he died.
So he tried to cast the spell on Harry Potter as a baby, and it got reversed back on him.
Yeah.
Was it a Ron Weasley thing because he had that broken dick?
In this, they explain it in this movie about the 3 deadly curses, right? There's the torture, and then there's making someone do something not under their will.
He had that broken wand.
Okay, stop it. And then there's the death curse. So instead of Harry Potter dying, his mother's love got in the way and reversed the curse back. But it also, what's happened is that it's given Harry Potter a lot of Voldemort's powers. And almost like he's in tune with Voldemort. That's what's happened. So that's why he can talk to snakes. That's why he has the same wand as Voldemort. They have the same feathers in their wands and all this kind of stuff. So, and Voldemort doesn't really realize how powerful Harry is. And that's why he tries to kill him in this, and he ends up failing because
why are there feathers in the wands?
The feathers, every wand has a tail feather of a phoenix.
Why?
It's just the way it is. It's the way.
This is the way.
There you go. Anyway, and
so what do you like about this movie? I'm going to focus my reviews on just things that I like for the most part.
We're starting to understand more of what happened with the whole thing with Voldemort, because we really don't know all that. We know it's bad. We find out that Neville's parents were killed by the death curse.
Who's Neville?
The kid Neville with the buck teeth. That's always kind of awkward, but he gets a date in this one, and he's the good kid that knows about plants. He's always been a bit of
the dancing kid. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know what his name was. Yeah, Neville, he's got the buck teeth. Neville Longbottom.
That's why he talks.
Has he got a big butt or something?
No, that's his name. It's a British name.
Dumb name.
That's why he's raised by his grandmother, because his parents were killed by Voldemort. So were Harry's parents.
There's a lot of parents dead in this. You sure this isn't a Disney production?
That's what but there's high stakes in this, and now we're seeing how high they were and what happened. People basically, they're saying that Voldemort put this curse on them to do his bidding, but other people are saying the problem was we couldn't tell which ones did it voluntarily and which ones were cursed. Mm-hmm. So that's when we're seeing who the true allies of Voldemort were. And Snape is always in question because he was
talking about Alan Rickman?
Yeah, he was working for Voldemort, but Dumbledore stood up for him and said that no, he was under the power of Voldemort. But we're still not sure because Snape is always suspicious, right, in all these movies. Mostly because Harry and the students are suspicious of him. But Dumbledore protects him with his life.
Well, the teachers don't do anything in these movies. They just
leave. They actually do something.
They actually did something. Yeah, the old guy, Dumbledore, actually comes and saves Harry Potter at one point and shows him like a magic pool of goo. And he takes his memories out. He takes his memories out with his wand and then puts them in the magic goo. And sure, because he doesn't want to remember those things. I'd do that if I could.
He wants to look over. Anyway, it's very interesting. I love all the interesting things. In this one, though, there's not as many cute magical things that are going on. This is way more dark. It's not as cute as the other ones.
I don't know if it was as dark as the other one. We don't get the last one. We got to see all these Grim Reapers. Okay, so these death.
Yeah, okay, but they didn't actually kill anybody.
Death visages, these phantoms, and they're terrifying.
Yeah.
And there's another snake in this again. There's like these visions to.
Pet snake.
He see like. What is it with their obsession with snakes?
It's like his dog. He has a snake instead of a dog.
So in terms of my perspective, I'm going to try and focus on things that I like about this, okay? But I do have to say one thing that I don't like. It's 2 hours and 37 minutes. It's way too long, okay? And falling asleep watching these things here. But stayed awake, and I'm watching all of them. So as we discussed in the last one, but I'm going to expand on this series is very Freudian, okay? These stories are very Freudian. It's all sexual references.
It's not.
No, it is.
Stop it with that.
So there's lots of snakes in it, okay? And then we've already discussed what the wands actually stand for. And now that magic is all like as they get older, their magic gets stronger. So that's them coming into their own in terms of being adults and sexual power. Okay, both the guys and the girls. And it's all metaphor.
Oh, would you stop
It's all metaphor. So they're learning to dance, and they're having like a prom in this, which was nice. Harry Potter gets naked in the tub with the toilet ghost. Okay, and she's enjoying that. There wasn't as many of those references in this one.
It's not as
Who's that Nazi
things.
kid? Malfoy?
Malfoy.
Yeah, so I like that they keep bringing back the same cast members all the time. I mean, they even got Alan Rickman to come back.
He's not in it as much, Malfoy, in this one.
Okay.
But his father's in it again. His father's in everyone.
Yeah, so his father's a Targaryen, Jason Isaacs there. And he gets into a fight with Voldemort, the evil one, who looks like a weird, creepy penis. Like, let's be honest. Okay? He looks really weird.
He doesn't get in a fight with them. You don't share what was
No, well, they were arguing. I don't mean a fist fight or a magic fight. Although there was kind of a magic fight where they're pointing each other's wands at each other and shooting lightning at each other out of their wands, him and Harry Potter. And I'm like, that's not interesting. I've seen that in those Fantastic Beasts movies, you know?
This was before that. Anyway, it's not for you, but it's nothing to do. There's no sex in Harry Potter.
No, because it's all metaphor. Okay.
Oh my God!
It's all metaphor.
You don't even know what's happening.
That's why they. No, I'm serious. It's very Freudian. Okay. So I like that. There's all the characters. Oh, the one guy, the giant, Hagrid. So he's got the hots for this giant lady. Okay? And she's bigger than him. And there's one point where he takes her out into the woods and he's like, I gotta show you something. You know what he wants to show her, right?
His dragons.
No. Okay, he wants to show her something, but they get interrupted by all these dragons, right? And then later on he's like, I didn't get to show you what I want to show you. Come on back to my place. So, you know what he's going for there. Look at the cat. Look at the cat. She's giving me this weird look. Okay? Telling you.
You're ruining Harry Potter.
This is my perspective on it, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on this.
Trying to make fun of it.
So J.K. Rowling, and I don't want to discuss her, but I'm thinking that she wrote these and everything in. Imagine that it's all just metaphor for Freudian.
The ghost in the toilet is
Well, the ghost in the toilet is funny. Okay?
Exactly.
She died on the toilet. Who dies on the toilet, right? What is she? Cleveland? She fell off the toilet? Remember the Cleveland show where he fell off the toilet and he became like a national embarrassment?
She is funny.
Anyway, so that was interesting.
This one isn't as funny. It's way more dark.
The one teacher does stuff, but the other teachers do nothing. Okay? Well, they don't do anything, especially that old British woman from Downton Abbey there.
Garnagle.
She don't do anything.
She teaches them how to dance.
I think it's because they're old and so they're not supposed to do as much magic.
They're teachers.
Yeah.
They're not involved with the children.
The magic is all for the young kids. Okay? And their wands, right?
I give up. Anyway.
No, here, let me show you, okay? So
stop it! Just stop it. I don't want to hear it.
They're activating their wands.
They don't hardly use wands
every time they're activating the cat. Every time they're activating their wands, right? That's a metaphor for something. It's like, I got this magical power. Ooh.
They don't even use wands in this one. Hardly at all. Anyway, Gregory's just trying to make fun of it because
I'm not making fun of it.
In the beginning you weren't gonna like these movies. You have never seen them before. Anyway,
I had fun watching this. It's a dumb movie. This is a dumb series, but it's fun and wacky. It's for kids, but it's not for me. I didn't grow up watching this. I don't care what happens to any of these characters. Okay, so Harry Potter and Ron, Broken Dick Weasley, and Hermione, and What was the bucktooth kid's name?
Neville
Longbottom, yeah, the big butt guy. And the old wizard who walks around in his pajamas all the time. Dumbledore, that's what I said. So I don't care what happens to any of these characters. And I'm pretty sure they're all just going to be fine. It's not like they're going to kill Ron in one of these movies. And, maybe they should.
They killed Cedric Diggory in this one.
Who was that? Who was Cedric Diggory? I gotta look it up.
I don't even know Cedric. See, he's not paying attention.
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now.
Cedric Diggory was a boy. He was like he's like at school. He's like that, senior at school that's great at football.
He's not even on the main cast list. Oh, that guy! Dies. Yeah, that's another thing. So they bring in these other two schools. So there's these Russian,
from Bulgaria.
Yeah, there's these Russian magic users, all boys. And then they bring in these girls.
It's an all-boys school.
Okay, they bring in an all-girls school, and they're all dressed in blue, and they're all walking around like
girls' school.
Yeah, so they're very flirty. They're doing this like flirting dance when they first walk in with their blue chocolate chip hats. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But, so they got the boys' school, the girls' school, and then Hogwarts is the co-ed school. And so now they bring them all together, and it's
school.
And they're all like to, intermingle and mix with each other. I'm telling you, that's what this is a reference about.
Stop it! It's about this tournament, and Harry Potter gets thrown in the middle of it because they want him to get to Voldemort. That's
because they need his blood.
Yeah, they do need his blood.
So there's an exchange of bodily fluids in this? Gross!
Have you ever seen anything talking about wizards and the witches with the cauldron? That's what they actually use a cauldron in this. They actually have like in Macbeth.
So as they get older and more powerful in their magic, okay, then you get more and more of these references and it becomes more pronounced, right? Because at the end of the first movie, it's they get those animals, and that is to symbolize that the kids have entered puberty. Because the first movie is all like this weird, boring kids movie.
Materials. Anyway, okay, I'm out of tea. You can stop insulting Harry Potter now.
I'm not insulting it. I'm not insulting it. I'm telling you what these are good things about it.
Okay, let's move on.
Why are you always getting so upset when I'm giving my opinion?
Because it's ridiculous.
You're arguing with me on my opinion.
Your opinion is ridiculous. Anyway.
I don't bash talk your opinion. Okay? So was it fun? Yeah, it was kind of fun. Was it too long? Definitely. And it had some boring parts in it. I'm warming up to these movies. I'm on the rating. What rating would you give this on the internet rating system?
This one was like a 93.
93. What was it on Rotten Tomatoes again? 88 and 74. So for best movie, I'm gonna give this. This
one is not for little kids. If people brought their little kids,
none of them are for little kids. The last one has they killed the cat and pinned it to the wall and wrote in the cat's blood a message.
They never killed
the
cat.
This one on the internet rating system, I'm giving this just a movie. I had some fun with it. Didn't blow me away. Wasn't terrible, but it wasn't particularly very good, so it's just a movie for me. So I'm getting better at these, okay? And that's my thoughts on Harry Potter 4, The Quest for Peace. What do you think of Harry Potter? Are you enjoying our ongoing segment of Nap Time at Hogwarts? Do you like this series? Do you hate this series? Maybe you like it as much as Christine, maybe not so much. Do you think I'm right on all that this is all metaphor for sexual power and sexual references? Let us know down in the comments below, and we hope you enjoyed this segment of Nap Time at Hogwarts. Time for a return of our favorite segment of Chakotay's Odyssey, featuring the adventures of Janeway.
Okay.
So I just watched this before the episode, watched episode 13. Apparently this is a real word. Cathexis? Or it's catexis? I don't know. So...
I can't see it.
Yeah.
It's not catharsis.
No, it's not catharsis.
I don't know what it is.
Anyway,
is this a good one or is
this one's crazy.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, I had a fun time with it.
Okay.
It starts off... Janeway is, I'm sick of this. I'm gonna go hang out in the holodeck, guys. What's the worst that could happen? Anyway, what happens in the holodeck? Nothing. She's just getting into fights with this, she's in ancient England. I think it's 18th century. And she's hired as a governess in some novel.
Why would you do that as your holodeck experience?
I don't know. Okay.
Teach some bratty kids some English.
And she's just... Her and this head maid are like daggers at each other's eyes, and they're talking trash to each other.
Is she in a novel that she likes?
Yeah, it's some novel.
Oh.
I don't know it. If you know the novel she's acting out,
Women or something?
she gets interrupted.
Yeah.
And suddenly it's Chakotay and Tuvok are back. Chakotay he's a vegetable all episode.
Where did they go? They can't go anywhere.
They're coming back in the shuttle.
Oh,
okay. And they're both unconscious.
Oh, that's the way to
They're
drive
returning from checking out another nebula.
Oh, why are they going in those nebulas? It's never a good idea.
So they come back.
They bring back a piece of nebula with them.
Okay. This guy's so wooden this episode. Tuvok has got a concussion, and Doctor's like, no problem. I'm awesome. I'll take care of it.
Right.
But Chakotay is brain dead.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he's a vegetable all episode. And so the guy who plays him
I thought you meant he was dressed as a bean or
got
something.
Paid
in the holodeck.
to lie on a bed in the med bay, in the sick bay.
Maybe he had a cold
with his shirt off under a blanket, and he just had to sleep, and he got paid for it.
If he had a cold, maybe they had that one in case someone had a cold that week. They could switch out.
So Chakotay comes back. He's brain dead. And all the neural energy in his brain has been sucked out.
Because it's in the nebula.
They don't know.
Oh. Well, how does it get back in? Because obviously it goes back in.
So what happens is they're like, we gotta go check this out, okay?
Oh, they don't go in the nebula too.
We gotta go check this out. So plot a course for the nebula, right? Okay. Next thing you know, Ensign Kim is like, Captain, we've turned around. Wait, what? Why did we turn around? Tom Paris sitting there at the helm. He's like, I didn't do anything.
How does he know they turned around?
Exactly, right? So Harry Kim is sciencing it up, checking their location to see how far they away.
Okay.
And suddenly they've discovered that they turned around. Okay, when did this happen? Tom Paris is saying he didn't do anything, so he's like, okay, I'll turn us around, right? And they're like, what is going on here? We gotta figure out what's going on, right? And then suddenly... At one point, and then Cass makes an appearance, and it keeps showing us this viewpoint of this, what turns out we find out later is this invisible energy cloud.
Oh, yes.
Okay, it's like a ghost. It's a ghost. Well, apparently Cass shows up because it's
sucking their brains out.
It's peeping on Cass.
Right.
She's reading a book, how steamy, fully dressed, of course. And this thing is, through her viewpoint, is watching her, and then we see it go off to other things.
Yeah, it's one of
and
those.
We're like, what's going on with this dumb thing? Beans. So then what happens is the warp core goes down.
Oh, that damn warp core.
They're like, Bellona, why did you shut down the warp core? She's like, I didn't. I don't know what you're talking about.
They went into the nebula.
Okay.
Hello.
And so now the warp core is going to take like 2 hours to get back up online.
This just happened a couple episodes ago where they went in the nebula and they had 2 creatures and...
So they've lost power. So everything is dark now on the ship. It's emergency lighting only because the warp core is down. And it's going to take a few hours to get back online. And eventually they discover it's like, there's an alien on board that's acting like a ghost and it's possessing people and making them do things they don't want to do.
Oh.
Like the warp core, like Tom Paris changing the course. Okay,
right.
He did turn the ship around, but he doesn't remember because he was possessed apparently. Then suddenly Tuvok gets knocked out again.
But isn't he brain dead?
No, that's Chakotay.
Oh.
Tuvok gets knocked out again when he goes to do a Vulcan mind meld with Cass.
Oh.
And she gets severely injured.
Oh, too bad.
So it turns out is Tuvok did it. Okay? He did it, and he's like, I must have been possessed. Like I say, he's really wooden in this episode.
Didn't they just have this happen? You said, like, the last episode were these 2 entities, and
so
that's very similar.
No, this is much different.
Oh.
Although this was quite enjoyable.
The same.
So, Tuvok keeps doing these things, and they discover, okay, that this alien can jump into different people, and it's this energy cloud that we keep seeing its viewpoint going past people in the hallways and that. So they discover the only person who can be trusted is the Doctor.
Right, because he can't be possessed.
Yeah, and he's, sure, I'll do it. I'll take the command keys. Okay,
right.
So he can override any command that's happening.
How did they get rid of
what happens? Then he gets deactivated.
Well, they did.
And we see Tuvok do it. He's like, under orders from the captain, I got a relay thing. What he did was he shut it down, right?
Oh, God.
Okay, now it's in Tuvok again.
Oh, man.
We gotta get to this nebula because they keep having to stop.
They want to go back and get it back to get another one in the nebula.
Yeah. So, should I spoil it more?
What happened? How did they get rid of it?
Okay, so what happens is, it's in Tuvok the whole time, this alien.
Oh.
The whole time. It never possessed anyone else.
I thought it possessed Tom Paris.
No, that was a different one.
Right, like the last episode.
So there's
they had
2.
This
there's 2. But the second one, which is the one we keep seeing the viewpoints, and the one that keeps possessing crew members and doing all these problems, it's trying to fight the other one that's possessing Tuvok. And this weird energy cloud, it's Chakotay. Chakotay is a weird invisible energy cloud the whole episode.
Okay.
And so he's trying to stop them from getting to this nebula.
Because it's bad?
Because the alien possessing Tuvok is trying to get them to the nebula so more of its race can take over all of them.
Oh,
and Janeway's like, we can't let you do this. At one point, they're all in a fight and they all just keep phasering each other until only one's left. And then it goes to the next scene and everything's back to normal. They're all walking around with tricores that don't work and phasers that are apparently on stun. But if you can get possessed at any time, why is it good to have people with phasers on? Why it wouldn't be good.
They should have locked them all up in jail and let the Doctor
So it's really a guessing game throughout the whole thing, and you're like, this is weird, but it was fun.
But it does sound like an episode you just talked about. It had 2 entities that were taken from a nebula. One was somewhere and one was somewhere else.
No, those were the energy globs. This is complete. This is
like
energy
clouds.
This is like a ghost possession story, so it's supposed to be a thriller, I guess.
Okay.
And in the end, they stop the alien and they get rid of it and they get it out of Tuvok.
Oh, good.
Okay, although he was still just as boring with the alien in him.
It's Chakotay.
And Chakotay gets and suddenly Chakotay. The Doctor's able to put the energy back in him.
Oh, yay.
Using his special Aztec...
He has another few seasons to go. It wouldn't be very exciting if he was just sleeping the whole time.
Anyway, at one point their warp core gets ejected while they're in the nebula. And then suddenly...
Don't they need it?
And then they're like, we gotta get out of here. So they leave.
How do they leave if they don't have a warp core?
And that's what I said. I guess impulse power.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have gone dark if they just said that. Well,
but they leave. I'm like, guys, you need your warp core. How are you going to get back to the Alpha Quadrant?
They can't even get out of the nebula without it.
Yeah, well, they keep going to too many nebulas.
Stop with the nebulas.
So
anyway,
that was a funny episode. Here's what it says on Wikipedia. It says the shuttlecraft with Chakotay and Tuvok aboard is attacked. We don't see that. Chakotay is left brain dead while Tuvok begins acting strangely. An unknown force begins controlling crew members. I enjoyed this one.
Okay.
Okay, and that was another exciting episode of Chakotay's Odyssey featuring the adventures of Janeway. It's our ongoing segment that doesn't have a name. We're back in the apartment, everyone, to review season 5 of The Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
People are really enjoying our Big Bang Theory reviews. Should we come up with a name for this segment? Should we call it Fun with Flags?
No, you're not calling it that. We're not. And if you put a
Big
flag
Bang
up
Review?
there, I'm going to shoot you.
No, I'm not putting a flag up
call
there.
it Big Bang Review, sure.
Big Bangin' Reviews.
No, that's something else. Big Bang Review.
So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to give the highlights of the season.
Okay.
And if you recognize them, or if anyone else there recognized them and you like them, let us know down in the comments below whether you like these things, if you enjoyed the show. So, season 5, which is great. I mean, this show just keeps getting better and better. I'm going to look it up on Rotten Tomatoes because they actually have the individual seasons are rated. Overall, it's at 81% critic rating and 83% audience score. Well, this is a beloved show. Also one for 12 seasons, right? So season 5 is rated at 100% critic score. So this is a good one.
Okay.
So this last season ended where Penny has to do the walk of shame because she wakes up in Leonard's bed with Raj.
Okay.
And then has to walk out. She has to do the walk of shame because the guys come in. They're like, what's going on here? And she's like, it's not what it looks like. And then she just walks out. Sheldon, okay? So everyone assumes what happened, but no one knows, okay? It's assumed that Raj and Penny had sex.
I doubt
But then it turns out they didn't.
No, Raj can't even talk to people.
Exactly. So, anyway, they didn't, and then he becomes infatuated with her because any woman who pays even the slightest attention to him, he becomes infatuated with, and he's like, I'm going to buy you everything, and you're everything to me.
Any money?
He has his parents' money.
Yeah.
Okay. But it turns out that they didn't. He actually just passed out.
I could see that, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm just giving the Cliff Notes, the Coles Notes version here.
Right.
Anyway, there's a hemorrhoid commercial. Do you remember that?
No, I haven't
seen.
I kind of gave
That's
up on it.
funny. If you remember that, let me know. Howard invents long-distance kissing technology.
No, I haven't seen that.
Because I guess Leonard is still dating Priya long distance. No, they already broke up.
I don't know.
Okay. There is a red chair of surprises.
Oh, I did see that one.
It involves Sheldon. You know what I'm talking about?
I have a cousin that used to do that, and I was always kind of wary of the furniture.
Yeah, I would be too. I used to know people that would do that, and I'm sitting there. Why are you taking this table? It clearly smells of tobacco smoke. Why do you want this?
A table is a little bit safer, but like a couch or upholstered chair is not. Yeah. I had seen that one.
Hey, if you want bed bugs, sure.
It wasn't a bed bug in that chair. I don't know what it was.
It was all in Sheldon's imagination, but that was a funny one.
Mine too, I think.
Anyway, we discover that Bernadette's yelling sounds similar to someone else.
Oh yes, I do remember that as well.
And we see it more. We get to hear it more and more. Leonard and Amy date at a wedding. Okay. Anyway, Raj dates a deaf woman who's a gold digger.
No.
Oh boy, because any woman who pays attention to him, he just spends all this money, right? All his parents' money, because he don't care.
He doesn't have much money himself. I don't.
Yeah, and okay, I'll spoil what happens because this is old. But his parents call him up and be like, "Stop spending all this money." And he's like, "No, it's for love." And they're like, "Okay, we're cutting you off then."
Right.
So he's like, "Okay." So he tells his deaf girlfriend because he loves her and they love each other so much. Parents cut him off, but it's okay. We have love.
Right,
she takes off.
Yeah.
Anyway, which is funny, but it's not funny for him because he's always like really affected by these things. What do we got here? Sheldon becomes friends with Will Wheaton after their rivalry. Now we actually get to see Will Wheaton playing himself instead of the evil version of Will. And he goes to a party, and guess who shows up?
Who shows up?
Brent Spiner.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and he won't sign an action figure for Sheldon unless he pays him $20. And then the other guys are like, "Here you go, yeah." So he goes out to Trump to get some. He just wanted to make some money. Anyway, Bernadette and Mrs. Wolowitz interfere with Howard's dream. You know what his dream is?
No.
He's going to be an astronaut.
Oh, is that his dream, really?
Well, both his mother and his wife interfere with it. Okay. Sheldon's mother doesn't take no sass on her California vacation. She comes to visit them again. So we get the return of Laurie Metcalf.
Okay.
Who's amazing. She was in Roseanne, remember?
I know who she is.
Okay. So, and she's always this hard, tough as nails, ultra Catholic, evangelist Texan.
Yeah.
The character is. The gang scares the crap out of Sheldon several times during the Halloween episode. And he keeps trying to get them back. It's really good. Okay. But what happens in the end? Let me know down in the comments below if you know what happens. Leonard picks up a hot chick in the comic book store, but doesn't go through with it. Mm-hmm. Okay, because him and Penny aren't back together with. Oh, and then Priya breaks up with Leonard. Yeah, that's why Howard was working on the long distance kissing technology. And you know who he tested it with?
I don't know.
Raj.
Oh.
And this is weird. The girls are fighting over bridesmaids' dresses.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know who's getting married.
Yeah, but all the bridesmaids' dresses usually look the same.
Sheldon is forced to console Amy, and he doesn't like it.
Okay.
Leonard and Penny have a friend date while Sheldon is terrorized by a bird.
Okay. Oh, I think it's a blue jay. That one.
I think it's a blue jay.
I did see that one with the bird.
Yeah, and then he becomes like the best friend to him.
There's like a bird at his window all the time.
But they actually let it in.
Yeah, I did see that.
Now it's obviously visual effects, but it was a pretty funny story.
Be a highly trained bird.
Stewart asks Amy out. Sheldon's not happy, and this leads to the relationship agreement.
Oh.
Just like the roommate agreement, so now they're actually officially boyfriend and girlfriend according to his parameters in the relationship agreement, which he makes up.
Of course.
Leonard's old. I didn't like this episode. Leonard's old bully Jimmy shows up. I didn't like that one at all. And Penny's story, which is the secondary one, is much funnier. She donates clothes to clean up her apartment.
Oh, to get rid of them.
Yeah, but it's more than that. It's funny. Bernadette's not good with kids, and Amy is gifted a tiara by Sheldon.
Doesn't seem very something she would wear.
Oh, she loves it.
Oh, I can see her putting on her monkeys.
And Sheldon is like, "Oh, it was too much. Why did I buy this?" And it's real because he goes to the jewelry store with Penny.
Oh my goodness.
Sheldon gets the wrong Spock cutout. You know those stand-up cutouts? Okay, mm-hmm. you get the cut up of like the actor or the character standing there.
Right.
Okay, he gets the wrong Spock cut out.
Wrong Spock.
Yep. And he says, okay, I'll tell you what he says. It's really funny. He's like, "Live long and suck it, Zachary Quinto," because it's not Leonard Nimoy.
Zachary Quinto. I was wondering if it was like a Terrence Spock or something. I didn't know what.
And that same episode, Leonard and Penny have another first date after 2 years.
Okay.
Leonard is shot in the foot. After they've been dating a little bit, they're doing something different. He accidentally shoots himself in the foot. He takes her to the gun range. And we get the first appearance of our favorite show, Fun with Flags.
Okay.
And Raj dates Siri.
The computer?
The artificial...
the computer voice?
Yeah, the voice.
Well, why not?
It's all
like a pretty good match.
It's all in his head. Didn't you see it?
No.
And he meets Siri at the end.
No, the only one I just remember, the one about the bird and the one about the piece of furniture.
Okay. Anyway. Wolowitz gets a new nickname. Fruit Loops.
Okay.
Oh, man, that is great. You know what I'm talking about. And we get the first ever Leonard's Day.
Okay.
Yep. Sheldon's forced to take a vacation from work. The university president makes him. He's really pissed off about it. And Howard has to get a prenup.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because his wife requires it. Oh, and we get the first time we see the giant portrait of Amy and Penny. You remember that giant portrait?
No.
Okay, I'll show you a picture of it later, okay? It's hilarious.
Okay. So you like this season?
Hold on, I got a couple more.
More?
Sheldon can't get a haircut and becomes a bad boy. Wolowitz starts astronaut training, both with hilarious results. Guys' weekend playing Star Wars video games. It doesn't go the way they wanted it to. It really breaks down as funny. In fact, one of the guys brings his girlfriend, and the other guys aren't happy with that. Guys, Tiny Spock comes to life, and Raj almost marries a lesbian.
Okay.
And he wants to.
That seems unlikely.
Howard's bachelor party, which is hilarious, and posted video afterwards. And he's in trouble after
Never
that.
take a video at bachelor party.
Yeah, it was Will Wheaton who did it.
Oh, was he being evil?
No, he was just.
That's not a good idea.
Okay, what happens is everyone gets drunk and it's just trash talking, and Raj speaks a bit too much, and anyway, yeah.
Raj speaks anyway.
Yeah, because he's drunk, right? What do we got? Leonard and Penny move their relationship faster, and Amy uses psychology research to manipulate Sheldon in their relationships.
I did see that.
Howard's space flight is interrupted. He gets the call that it's canceled.
They are canceled a lot.
Yeah,
these things.
But then they call him and say, no, it's back. But he's happy. And then he gets the call and says it's back, and he's terrified. He doesn't want to go.
I would be terrified.
And when they send him up into space at the end of the season,
blow up.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
And they're calling him fruit because they're in a Russian Soyuz capsule.
The Russian.
Okay,
capsule.
And the Russian and the other American guy are ripping on him, calling him Fruit Loops and shit. It's hilarious. We get a rush wedding, and Howard heads to space, which is hilarious.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there.
So if you know any of that stuff, let me know. I really enjoyed that season.
Okay.
I'm going to start into season 6. It might take me a couple weeks, though. Christine, how can people get in touch with us?
Okay. They can do it with email. They can email us at CanadaMovieTVHosers@gmail.com. And if you want to email us, talk about what you saw on our show, recommend anything you might like us to watch or talk about. You can also find us on Twitter at Canada Hosers, or you can find Gregory on Twitter at St. John's Critic. And if you want to get our attention on Twitter, you can use the hashtag Canada Hosers, and we encourage you to please like and subscribe.
Yes, liking any of our videos will help us out. Leaving a comment will help us out. Got a comment from the Haiku King on our famous Chakotay's Odyssey segment.
Oh, yes.
When we were talking about what's her name? Seska.
Oh, yes.
And he says, sure, she's Bajoran. That's he commented on the episode before I got to one and found out that she is not Bajoran. So, see, because I don't remember much of this stuff, and probably haven't seen a lot of them.
I've seen shows where they made people Bajoran very easily. They just doctored up their nose.
People are enjoying our Voyager segments there. What else there? Oh, our good friend Mark Bigelow replied on to our Big Bang Theory segments that people are loving. Thank you, everyone who's checking those out. Well, the standout moment was Nimoy's napkin. I didn't see the later episodes, only clips on YT, I think, on YouTube, of the Nobel Prize, except the show ended at a good point. Is there more to this?
So they had Leonard Nimoy's napkin?
There was really nowhere left to go. I think he's talking about stuff later in the in the show. No, probably later in the show. Remember, there's 12 seasons. I've only got through 5 so far, and I haven't seen all of them. I was chatting with him, saying that's one of the reasons I'm watching it, because I never got to see the final seasons. So I might as well just rewatch it all. And man, I'm having a great time.
I'm glad.
Having such a great time. Do you enjoy Big Bang Theory? Did you enjoy any of the things we talked about? Leave a comment down below. Let us know. We really appreciate anyone who's watching that. We're getting more subscribers, so that's fun.
Great.
Let us know what you like about our show, what you don't. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good one.